Football. I'm Ethan Locke, and I'm here with my co-hosts Jaden Woods and Rich Jennings, and welcome to the Vikings Stadium in Valparaiso, Indiana. We hope you're having a great night because it's about to get even better. Tonight we have a matchup between the Valparaiso Vikings and the LaPorte Slicers. The Slicers are 0-2 after their loss to Lowell, 21-14. They've had a rough start to the season, and they're looking to turn it on tonight against the Valparaiso Vikings, who are currently 1-1 after their huge redemption game against the Hammond Central Wolves. Speaking of that, Jaden, what is your takeaway from that game against the Wolves?
Well, it's not every day that you see a 50-plus point shutout. The Vikings ran an extremely aggressive offensive style last game where they primarily ran the ball. Hammond couldn't even score last game, but the Vikings sure could. However, the Woods brothers were the thing to watch on Hammond last week, unrelated to me, of course. Including their scoring troubles, the whole team really struggled with penalties, especially throughout the first half. Speaking of penalties, if you ever run into a penalty, don't be afraid to call law. They can help you out. The Slicers, however, like you said earlier, are coming off of a 21-14 loss against Lowell. They are looking to finally bring a W into the win column. They had almost no rushing yards in their last game against the Red Devils, so I'm sure they're wanting to raise that number up.
And speaking of games from last week, that takes us to the standings in the Duneland Conference, with Maryville and Crown Point both at 2-0. Valpo is in a four-way tie for third place with schools like Lake Central, Chesterton, and Portage, who are all 1-1 so far. And LaPorte and Michigan City are tied for last at 0-2, yet to win a game. So again, LaPorte is looking to get into the win column, and Valpo is looking to get closer to a first place if Crown Point and Maryville happen to lose tonight. So a pivotal game for both teams.
Well, you heard him. Two teams that really want this win. One coming off an unfortunate loss, and the other coming from a 52-0 win, hoping to keep their momentum up.
Agreed. The Vikings were offensively and defensively locked in last game, with 2 rushing touchdowns to start the game, then a pick-6 by Fisher. After that first quarter of scoring 22 points, it was pretty much over from there. Although they were even more impressive plays by Justin Clark and Rocco Machichi throughout the game, that would lead to the Vikings to win in their very first home opener, 52-0.
Speaking of Rocco Machichi, he's number 38 and a wide receiver, and he is PC3's player to look out for. Last game, he didn't get a ton of minutes, but for his one catch, he did get 31 yards and a touchdown. I'm sure he's hoping that performance gets him some more plays tonight.
Now on to some keys about the game. Look out for LaPorte's defense as Brennan Balka led the defense in tackles with 18 total, 11 of those being solo and 7 assisted. As for the Vikings, look out for that crazy run game, as last game they had 236 rushing yards, leading to 4 touchdowns. Most of the season so far for the Vikings. With this epic clash of quick offense versus strong defense, who will come out on top?
And that was all for tonight's pregame, brought to you by Blythe's Sporting Goods. Get ready for the coin flip, brought to you by First Source Bank. See you all soon.
got a man, and he catched that. What a grab!
He's looking deep for a hat. Oh, and intercepted at the 34-yard line by Berger.
Martin drops back. Nice flush from the pocket. He's going to tuck and run. He's at the 45, 50, 45.
Hello, hello, and welcome back to Viking Stadium in Valparaiso, Indiana. We're getting ready for a crazy game with LaPorte and Valparaiso, as you can hear in the background. The ritual for the Vikings for the fireworks.
Absolutely. That's definitely a way to get the crowd jumping. And I don't know if you can hear them, but they are loud.
And especially on a night like this.
And let's all stand for the national anthem. That was beautifully performed by Valpo's own marching band.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, so as you could hopefully see, there was a line of green as the Valpo football players were lined up with their hands on their hearts for that beautiful anthem. And as well, next to them was the cheerleaders.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to be a very exciting night for players, cheerleaders, even the fans. So definitely looking forward to a really good matchup here.
This game is definitely going to be exciting, especially after their loss last game. Sorry about that. The LaPorte Slicers lost last game.
Yes, 21-14. So LaPorte is looking to go 1-2, and Valpo's going 2-1 if they win here tonight.
After such a close loss, you're sure that they're looking to win.
And here is the coin flip coming up.
Brought to you by First Source Bank. We hope you're all excited to be here tonight, because we definitely are, and so are all the Valpo fans tonight. And there's also a pretty large fan for the LaPorte Slicers.
It was definitely bigger than Hammond Central's last game. So maybe we'll hear a louder response from them.
Here comes the coin flip.
It looks like LaPorte is receiving, so they'll start off, and Valpo will start off in the second half.
So you can see the players shaking hands, showing mutual respect.
And that's what football is all about. Even though they all compete, at the end of the day, it's all family with football. So definitely, respect is definitely needed.
So you can see all the players coming out on the field.
And we're getting ready for kickoff.
Lining up for the kickoff. Depending on which team you're rooting for, you'll find that LaPorte is in the orange and white jerseys and Valpo is in the green and white jerseys. On the right side of your screen is Valpo, about to kick off.
I just had to interject here. I was thinking that, hello everybody, this is Rich Jennings again. I will tell you that you won't be hearing me too much tonight because the gentlemen to my left or to my right tonight have done such an incredible job last week. I'm going to kind of take the night off. So let's see what these guys can do tonight in the new and improved PC3. So here's your kickoff and have a good game, gentlemen.
We appreciate the support,
Thank
Jennings.
you, sir. Here comes the kickoff.
And we are underway here for the Vikings and the Slicers. It's caught. And he starts running. Finds an opening and down around the 30.
It looks like to be the 32.
Seems to be.
So you can see all the players.
So here come
defensive
the
players.
LaPorte offense.
Yes, the offensive line. You can see a bit of a pip on both, in the steps of both teams. I believe that was 14 receiving.
Believe it was as well. So here comes the LaPorte offense that is trying to shake off their loss from last week in Lowell. And getting that first win of the season here. It's snapped. Looking. Here comes the pass. The pass
to
is
7 and it's
caught. Just like that,
Down
around
around
the 38, I believe.
38.
And
on
just
the,
like
on
that, in Viking territory. What a pass and what a catch.
First and 10 for the Slicers.
As you hopefully just heard, first and 10 for the Slicers.
What a great first play here for the Slicers. And hopefully that can wake up the Viking defense. Ball snapped. And here's a run by 24.
And he's down.
It's a good amount of yardage.
I believe
Might
that's
be
a 29.
It might be close to a first down.
That's really quick offense this game for the Slicers.
Second and 1 here coming up.
Getting ready for the snap.
Ball snapped. Pressured. Pass is overthrown.
15, almost intercepting it.
Is about 5 yards over his head. Third down and 1 coming up.
Pressure from the Valparaiso blitz there on the left side of their line really forced him to get rid of that a whole lot quicker than he wanted to.
And that's what the defense about Valpo is. That's something you got to look out for. Last game we saw that they were attacking Hammond Central's wide receivers, even the quarterback. So definitely something to look out here for. Here's the run.
And if you're looking out for anyone on the Vikings defense, you're looking out for Williams, number 40. He led the Valpo defense last game with 5 tackles.
And who can forget about that pick 6 from Versure?
I don't think anyone can forget about that. Anyone who witnessed it live, I'm sure, is still
It
thinking
was
about
the
it right
first pick 6 of the season for the Vikings and Versure. So here's a fresh set of downs here coming
now. Here
up.
comes the snap.
And the 5th play of the drive. Pass is caught, and never mind, it was dropped, but great pressure from number 6, Peter Crossan, the linebacker.
Second and 10 for the Slicers.
Now the quarterback, R.J. England, number 11. He's definitely
yes.
someone to look out for this game. He had 268 passing yards last game. So if you're rooting for the Slicers, who are on the left side of your screen, you're rooting for him to come pick up the offense.
Here comes a 2nd and 10. Looking, and it's tipped. And here comes the 3rd down. So good Valpo defense leads to another 3rd down here.
3rd and 10, I believe.
Yes.
Started off super strong, and the defense definitely kicked it up after those first 2 plays. They're looking to slow it down here.
LaPorte only had 25 rushing yards in its last game against Lowell. Trying to change it up here, and it's looking better so far.
Definitely. Already picking up about 15, I believe.
I believe that's already 60% of the rushing yards that they had last game. So
I would watch for another blitz here. The Vikings seem to be onto something here with the blitz on this quarterback.
here's the pass is overthrown, 4th down.
Yeah, if you see the Vikings defense is getting in there and it's really causing him to get rid of the ball a whole lot faster than he'd really like to.
Felt like this is like the 2nd or 3rd overthrown pass here, and it's 4th down.
The man on the Vikings defense that almost caught that ball was number 32, Sammy Ampliotis.
Ampliotis.
Yes.
It's kind of fun to say.
It's a fun last name.
Jack Stoney on to attempt a field goal.
So here comes the field goal attempt.
By number 3.
And
Kicker's no good.
no good.
First and 10 Vikings.
So it's 0-0 with 10:23 left, and it will be Viking ball.
That
at
was
their own 28.
that was Jack Doty on the kick.
What a turnaround there for the Viking defense.
Absolutely.
After the way that they started that drive, I was a little worried.
Definitely.
Kind of gave me a glimpse of last game and how they allowed a good amount of good plays by him in Central, but of course those would turn into penalties. So, and then after that, Valpo would click. So maybe we'll see the same thing here. And here comes the Valpo offense led by Travis Davis, Rocco Machichi, and Justin Clark.
If you're looking out for anyone on the Vikings offense, look out for number 5, the quarterback, Justin Clark. He likes to run and pass that ball.
So Clark, the pass is caught
And he's taken down.
for about 5.
26.
26 is Mason Adams, the running back.
I'm at the 26-yard line.
Yes.
But
Justin Clark's pass complete to
number
Darrell
13 was Darrell Davis, who caught
My
that.
my apologies there. That was Darrell Davis.
Now, where's our Rocco Machichi at? Where's he at on this field?
Rocco Machichi is
Here's the snap. It was a high snap. And Clark with the run.
Number
And Clark's still
38.
on his feet.
Justin Clark
And down around the 36. So once again, Clark, you got to look out for those legs of him. He'll turn on the turbo real quick. It's 1st down. So Clark is another player to look out for here in this game.
So you can see our player to look out for, Rocco Machichi, is lining up on the right side. Number 38.
Caught that impressive touchdown catch last week.
I believe it was one-handed.
I believe so as well. And that was from Justin Clark.
The run. They're down at the 40.
Travis Davis up the
Travis Davis with the run.
I know Travis Davis really had a good game last time with 2 rushing touchdowns.
Definitely started out incredible, getting a lot of yardage and touchdowns, and I believe they subbed him out
And he's looking to bounce
early.
from that game here in this one.
Keep that momentum going.
2nd down.
The snap. Clark running.
Clark running up the
Splits
middle.
the defense.
Found an opening there for a second. And now is in
The 47, I believe.
the Slicers territory at the 47.
First and 10 for the Vikings.
Seems like they found a hole in the middle of the LaPorte defense.
And moving the chains once again.
A little bit of a clash between players.
And he is down, going behind the line of scrimmage.
I think there
For
was a little
about
confusion on the
about a
offense.
yard loss, too.
That is what they call a busted play.
One you'll probably not want to do again. Regardless,
Definitely a little
it's a
confusion.
loss of 2. It's 2nd and 12 coming up.
And they're lining up
Right at
the
mid-center
snap.
field.
on the 50, yeah.
Here's the snap. Justin Clark, another
run in the middle.
And another opening for a good amount of yards. 3rd down coming up. So give us some more insight about Clark last game. How did he really change how the offense would work?
Man, Clark had 112 yards in total, 61 from passing and 51 from rushing. He definitely has that Lamar Jackson play style.
Oh, for sure. He's got the arm, the legs, as we've seen here so far.
Absolutely. Splitting the defense in the middle. Hopefully they can fix that hole.
And the holes
'cause he
that have been
just keeps
open here.
finding it.
Here's a 3rd down and 4. And
Travis Davis.
good
down.
enough for a 1st down.
Down at the 38, 37.
I believe that will be good enough for a first down.
Another Valparaiso first down.
So the offense really moving smooth here to begin the game.
Fast action here tonight. We're hoping, the Valpo offense is hoping that they can get a touchdown early here. Definitely want to take the lead.
They've had about a 3-minute drive here to begin the game, or to begin their drive. Ball snapped.
Fake run.
Here's the pass. The pass is going out.
No good, no good. He was not in
even though
bounds.
he did caught it, it was out of bounds. And a second down.
Got a little lucky on that play. That defensive player was definitely on the lookout for that ball.
It was definitely a good catch from him.
It was.
Only if it was in bounds, that would have been
Falling
even better.
too.
Now let's see if that sets them up for a little bit something here, because they did the play action and got them leaning in. Here they come, right to the left, just like I thought.
The run by Travis
Still on
Davis
his
splitting the
feet.
defense.
And here he goes. Touchdown, Vikings! Travis Davis.
What a run. What a run. We've seen that from Travis Davis last game, and he's definitely trying to prove that that wasn't a fluke.
His third rushing touchdown of the season. And Valpo up 6-0 with 7:05 left in the first quarter.
That was definitely an impressive run.
And I believe you would say that that is a Valparaiso touchdown.
Oh, for sure.
Here comes the kick, 92, 93.
Sorry, I had to.
He had to interject
You're good
a little
with me.
bit.
It's all good with
Jackson
me.
Kopp.
What an amazing
And the kick is good.
run. And that's
For 7 points.
7-0. What a run from Travis Davis. We saw this all last game with him as well, so definitely continuing and picking up where he was.
He's definitely a very talented individual, as you can see all the offensive players for the Vikings.
And as said about a minute ago, that's his third rushing of the season.
He's definitely wishing and hoping to put on a very impressive performance tonight.
For those of you that were watching that, if you paid attention, just like I started to say, they did the play action to get them leaning to the left and rolled out right. Now, granted, it was an incomplete, almost an interception, but it got the LaPorte defense leaning that way. And what I was starting to say as he broke free was, let's see if they come back the other way to catch him sleeping. And sure enough, here they came.
Of course it happened. So great awareness
Some
from
defenses,
the Viking offense.
Some defenses rely on patterns. Hopefully, LaPorte realizes that they can't do that with Valpo.
They really can't. You got too many weapons. Davis, Clark, Machichi. You got to look out for them.
93 warming up for the kickoff. That would be Kopp.
So Kopp is going to kick it off here, and the Slicers will have their second possession of the game here thus far.
And it's off.
And it's
Caught by 6, and he's running, splitting the middle of the defense.
A little bit of an opening there, but it's down around the 35.
Almost broke the tackle.
So the
but
Slicers get another shot here
just couldn't
to
shake
try
that
to get
tackle.
a score here. Their second possession of the game here so far.
They're on the 34. 35.
What do you expect LaPorte to come out with this time? How do you see them attacking Valpo to start off this drive here?
I think they definitely made an impression with that incredible pass on the first play, and they're probably hoping to continue with that.
I mean, even the rush for 9 yards was pretty good, so we'll see what will happen here.
Fake
It's the
run and
pass.
the pressure on by 41.
What good pressure here.
41 is Tyler Young.
So great pressure there from the Viking defense. Makes that 2nd and 10.
The defensive lineman Tyler Young putting the pressure on for the Slicers offense.
This Viking defensive line has really shown us that they're invincible, especially in the last 2 games. We've seen a lot of pressure on that quarterback, which leads to turnovers or bad snaps here.
Here comes the lineup. Snap.
Looking and hand it off to him, but doesn't get much. It's 3rd down and long.
That was number 10, Jonah Kyle, who got that tackle for the Vikings.
They tried to trick that Viking defense, and one of them caught on to it, and all of a sudden they were all there. So It's looking difficult to trick this Viking defense this early on.
They're
So
definitely ready.
So here's a 3rd down and 9 here. Ball is snapped. Looking. Long pass is caught, but I'm not sure if he was in bounds or not.
That is fair.
He
was in
was.
bounds. Wow, what a catch.
And it kind of reminded me of that one play. Happened earlier on.
Yes, it
Same
did.
thing.
Wide receiver beat the defensive man.
And it
he
was
just
on that side of the field once again, and that is the Slicers' 1st down. What a great catch.
Like I said earlier, RJ England is definitely someone to look out for. 19 for 34 last game. Average of 14 yards. You can tell he's definitely come to play tonight and to keep up that crazy yardage that he got last game.
And if I'm corrected, he had the 2 touchdowns.
He did have both touchdowns for the Slicers last game.
So here is the jet sweep.
14 with
Finds
running,
an
breaks the
opening
defense.
and gets a 1st down.
Number 14 is Ollie Kring. He's a wide receiver, actually.
That's the jet sweep there.
Fun to see him run.
And he was able to go through Viking defenders. And flag is on the field here. Illegal shift, if you haven't heard. And it's from LaPorte. It's too good to be true. So a loss of 5 yards makes it 1st and 15.
I believe that's the first penalty of the game.
I believe so.
Of penalties, feel free to call outlaw if you ever run into a penalty.
And hopefully we won't see a lot of penalties this game, unlike last game.
Hopefully not, yeah. There were a lot of penalties last game.
And I believe, as mentioned last game, there were more penalties than 1st downs at one point for.
Yep.
So.
In the first quarter.
That's right. So here is looking, pass is caught. Doesn't get much though.
Caught by 14, which is Ollie Kring.
Crank again after that.
Ollie Kring.
After the jet sweep was called back, gets about a couple yards there. 2nd down coming up.
I believe they lost a few yards.
They gained 2 there, so it's 2nd and 13.
Jonah Kyle's definitely playing well for the Vikings defense tonight. Maybe he's the person to look out for.
Seems like he's been making most plays here so far. So here is. Pass is tipped and could have been picked off there.
Just barely not caught by number 23.
Jonah Kyle was
Kai
right
Jones.
there. And Kyle was right there and making it
The pass
a 3rd down.
was intended for Kai Jones, a running back.
I'm kind of expecting them to. I'm kind of expecting Valpo to bring a linebacker blitz here to see if they can put him under pressure on this 3rd down.
I'm sure they're looking to blitz. That was definitely working on their last drive. They couldn't keep the ball in the quarterback's hands.
Maybe get them out of field goal position here.
The Vikings are definitely.
So here's a
hoping for anything.
3rd down and long. 3rd and 13 to be exact. Here comes 41, and this is picked off. Intercepted.
That's a pick by 23, I believe, which is Tanner Young.
the defensive line.
Incredible pick.
What a great awareness from Young there.
He definitely knew where to look on that play. 32, my apologies.
Yes.
That would be Sammy Ampliotis, who
Yes.
almost got a pick earlier in the game.
Ampliotis, the fun last name to say. So my apology there. That was Ampliotis, the defensive back, and it's just like that. 1st and 10 on the 25.
Man, the Vikings defense really came to play this game.
Oh, they
have been
definitely did.
shutting down the wide receivers.
Just from an announcer's standpoint, I would love to see them put Ampliotis at quarterback so we could have Ampliotis to Machichi.
Ampliotis to Machichi. Definitely would have been fun to say.
13 taken down.
So there's a flag on the field after that. See who it's on here. That was completed to Daryl Davis, if you didn't hear the PA. And it looks like Valpo might be going back.
Last stop was made by Keegan Anderson.
Keegan Anderson made the last stop.
I believe he just motioned for illegal hands to the face. I believe that's what, or illegal use of the hands.
Keegan Anderson is number 31, defensive back. He is the one who stopped that play. But like you heard Jennings say, illegal hand motion. That's unfortunate. Couple penalties already.
So LaPorte starting off with a missed field goal and an interception. Not a way you would want to start out here.
Definitely
Especially
not.
against a stingy offense and defense by the Valpo Vikings.
Absolutely.
And it looks like it will also be against the Vikings here as they're going back.
A loss of 15, I believe.
That makes it
That's
first
rough.
and 25.
That is rough. They're definitely hoping to make a big play, and I think the Slicers know that.
So my
Block
apologies,
in the
that's
back.
first and 23 here. Ball snapped. The long
I
pass.
believe there's another penalty.
There was I heard a whistle before that ball was snapped.
Yep. Yeah, I see a flag on the field.
Which usually means delay. I mean, not delay. It could be delayed game or it could be a illegal motion.
And it looks like it's
That's
against Valpo
unfortunate.
again. So that's
Two
two
in a row.
straight.
In their own end zone on the one.
Two straight penalties called on the Vikings.
23 for the Vikings.
Wow.
So now it's first and 23 here all of a sudden.
You know, maybe the Hammond Wolves rubbed off on them a little bit.
Possibly they got the wolf syndrome.
Ah.
It's contagious.
You know what? It just might be, but let's hope not
And it gives
for the
me
Vikings.
and it gives me the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it.
Snap to Clark.
So here it goes. Here's the run. Gets about a couple there.
And he's taken down. Through the field of men, I was not able to see, but that was Travis Davis running. I was not able to see who got the tackle, though.
Tackles made by Brandon Forney.
53, Brandon Foney
So Travis,
was the man who made the tackle. Forney,
so Davis
offensive
gets
lineman.
them about 3 yards, and it's second and 25. That last one was first and 28. So now it's second and 25 here. Come on.
I'd look. And stopping that middle.
Definitely. Like we mentioned, their defense is crazy.
And if I'm Valpo, let's release it deep. Why not here? As the pass is caught, but LaPorte swarms them there. That was number 9, Travis Davis, the running back.
They're definitely giving him more plays after last game. It's an incredible performance.
And it is third down and long. So we were talking about that LaPorte defense earlier, and maybe this is their time to shine here. So we the stop there, so maybe LaPorte's defense is going to show up here.
They put a halt to that running game pretty quick. They're closing in.
And with a third down and way long, Valpo's looking to dig themselves out of this hole here. Looking to get to the 35 for the first down. Clark releasing
Clark's
a deep
throwing a
one.
14.
Pass went through the hands
Almost
of
intercept.
the receiver and the defender. And that was
That pass was intended for Cameron Dancy.
you saw number 10 from LaPorte bringing in the pressure.
And you can see the special teams coming in. I believe they're kicking off. For Jackson Kopp will be kicking off again. The Valpo crowd is going crazy right now.
Well, they definitely like what they're seeing here right now with this good defense here, but
Like I was saying earlier, once the defense knows that they can stop you, the game's basically over. But we know that the Valpo offense is very talented.
and that was a timeout called by the Vikings there. So 7-0 with 3:16 here left in the first quarter. So what a good, solid start here for the Vikings.
Like we said at the start of the game, look out for Justin Clark. He had some impressive runs early on and a couple good passes.
So Clark definitely showing it off here so far.
As the teams are coming back out, I believe they called that timeout to avoid
Delay of game?
delay of game, yes.
Think
Sorry,
so.
I went blank.
And that was absolutely fine, but that is Vikings' first timeout of the half here.
14 is ready to receive. That is Ollie Kring. We saw a bit from him earlier.
We definitely did. We saw a lot of good runs here, and
They're expecting a short kick right here.
so LaPorte's going to start off
And the
with
punt is off.
good field position here. And Kring is off, but slammed down just like that at the 40. So they're at the Viking 40 to start out their possession with better field goal, with better field position, and the third possession of the game here so far. looking to not turn it over, or worse, not score here at all.
That tackle was made by Tyler Verschure, who we talked about earlier in the pregame. He's definitely someone to look out for.
Had that amazing pick 6 from last game, obviously.
He came to play tonight. We've heard his name a few times already.
And then the Ampliotis interception was definitely a good one here as well.
It's a good defense.
So here's the snap. The pass is caught.
Pass is caught
and
by
down just like that.
By 7. That number 7 caught that. Dylan Salisbury.
And that's Salisbury's first reception of the night here.
It is. Tackle was made by T.J. Watkins.
2nd and 3 for the slicer.
So they're down. So they're around the 33. 2nd and 3 here coming up. So here's the snap, and the rush up the middle doesn't get much. It's third down.
24. 24, if you're watching for the slicers, is Nathan Dona. He was brought down early. You can see the Viking offense showing off what they're made of. I mean, they haven't allowed really anything this game.
And that tackle was from Tanner Young. So
Tanner Young.
We saw a bit of him earlier here as well. So here is a third down and 3 at the 33.
They've been stuck at the 3 for a little while.
They definitely have been. So
aggressive.
Here is, they're trying to get into that red zone. The pass is caught.
Taken down by 15. That's
Tyrese Morris, the defensive back.
4th and 3 for the slicer.
That was a really nice read there. He let him. He had the ball in his eyes the entire way. He knew exactly what he was looking at right there.
Absolutely, a little early on the tackle jump, but he still got it. That's what counts.
Really nice discipline.
I believe here comes the kick from LaPorte. They're going. Are they going offside kick?
Or are they going for it, perhaps? And they are going for it. So here it
24
is.
with the run.
Run.
Splits the defense,
and gets
and
the
that's
first.
a first down for the Slicers.
Nathan Dona up the middle.
24, Nathan Dona making that run and halting that defensive prowess that we know the Vikings can show off.
And they are the closest they've been to the end zone here all night. 1st and 10 at the 29 coming up. As we're officially a minute almost over here with the first quarter.
And the snap is off.
Here's the pass. It was right behind him.
Pass to 10.
I will give him a little bit of credit. LaPorte's quarterback does have a bit of an arm.
Was number 10.
He's definitely got a bit of an arm.
And we saw that from him last game against Lowell. He's had the 2 touchdowns.
Bringing a little bit attention back to that touchdown by Travis Davis. Last game, he had 6 carries and 86 yards, averaging 14, and 2 touchdowns. He showed us what he was made of last game in front of all of his home fans. Make sure to watch number 10 on this play for the Vikings.
I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if the video board saw it, but the Vikings have frustrated LaPorte heavily. The coach just threw down his clipboard and called timeout on the sideline.
They are definitely not having fun right here. They haven't even been able to get past the 20. The Vikings defense is coming strong tonight.
And as I said earlier, this is the closest they've been here to the end zone thus far here. So that Valpo stingy defense has not let them pass by easily.
Absolutely not.
We knew coming into this game that it was going to be a much closer game than we obviously had last week. And it's very interesting to watch the way that Valpo has reacted to LaPorte. And LaPorte seems to be a little lost. Really, the only 2 big plays they've had were the same play up to the top of your screen there to that wide receiver. That's why I made the comment to watch number 10, because I think that's all they're relying on.
It's definitely
Seems like
surprising
it.
to see that they haven't relied on that play either, but you can't rely on it too heavily or the defense is going to catch on,
Not
especially being Valpo.
Not like they already haven't for most of the plays here anyways. With the interception earlier from Tanner Young. Or, sorry, Ampliotius. So the
Watch.
fun last name here to say. So here's the snap. Flag is thrown here. We'll see who it's against. As the
Long
pass
pass to
is
16, just a little out of his reach.
But there's a flag that was called here. We'll see who that is against.
I believe that's holding.
Seems to be like it.
Kevin Garrett, a flag on the field. There was holding on the Slicers.
That's holding
Holding
against
on
the
the
Slicers.
Slicers.
That's their second penalty of the game. So they both teams have 2 penalties each.
Like we said earlier, make sure you're looking out for number 10, wide receiver. He will most likely be on the top of your screen, as that seems to be his route. 2nd and 20 here with 42 seconds left in the first quarter.
Ball's placed on the 41-yard line.
If you're just joining us, this game has been rough. It has been very tough on both ends defensively.
Well, it's been very interesting. You know, unlike last game, we've seen a lot of good plays from both teams, but obviously, Valpo up 7-0 here. And here's the
throw.
pass. And it is
Intercepted.
picked off with the flag.
But there's a flag on the field.
We'll see who's
Intercepted
against
by
here.
16. That's Tyler Verschure.
Verschure had that interception last game.
That's Vikings ball. Now they're really hoping that it's not pass interference. They want that ball.
Yeah, I really think that that's what he's calling. And if you look at LaPorte, they're already moving up there.
So looking like it is against the Vikings here.
Still an extremely impressive catch
Which
by
I
Tyler
believe,
Verschure.
I believe it is a 15-yard penalty, I think.
And it would have
pretty
been
sure.
the second interception of the game here so far for the Viking defense.
Pass interference on the offense.
Oh, wow.
That is declined, which means it's a
Valparaiso first down.
Pass interference against the Vikings.
Oh,
Oh, never mind. It's pass interference against the Vikings.
he just okay.
well, I'm gonna rewind what I said. All right, I rewind it.
First
Okay,
down for the
Did the
LaPorte
referee
Slicers.
point to the wrong direction?
I believe it was a referee mistake. But you know what happens. We're all human. Maybe that's not a first down. This game's
Yeah,
definitely getting a little confusing.
I
in
think
the
he
first
did. I
definitely
think the
is.
referee pointed to the wrong direction. That's what he did.
So here's
Pass
the
interference.
official
Yeah, there. Now he's pointing to the Vikings. Okay,
to the defense. So
I got a little excited there for a minute.
That would have been the first offensive pass interference that I've seen personally.
2nd and 7 for the
And
Vikings.
yes,
Or for
it
the
was
Slicers.
a 15-yard penalty, making it 2nd and 7.
All right, 2nd and 7 for the LaPorte Slicers.
nevertheless, though, that was still a very good play from Verschure.
That would have been his 2nd interception of the year.
That's right.
Both of them being very impressive. And there's a snap.
And here it is, looking. Pass is overthrown
Way
by
over.
10 yards.
Pass intended for Dylan Salisbury.
Was
On
meant
him
for Dylan
was
Salisbury.
T.J. Watkins, the defensive back.
We heard his name earlier. Didn't he have a pretty impressive tackle?
I believe he did.
The Vikings, P.J. Watt.
He stopped that run, I'm pretty sure.
Makes it 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7 for the LaPorte Slicers. They're coming off an unfortunate loss. And coming off a game that close, you definitely got to hope that you can bring it back this game.
LaPorte looking to get in the
There's
red
the snap.
zone here. Here's
Run
the
by 24.
24 break.
He
Loose
breaks
there
the
and still
tackle.
on his feet, but is down around the 15.
Breaks the tackle, but he falls and he's down by the 15.
And he's officially in the red zone. We didn't see that a lot in last game against Hammond Central.
That was
But
number
LaPorte.
24, Nathan Dona, who we have heard his name a couple times.
And the Slicers get another first down.
This is, like you said earlier, they're moving closer and closer to the end zone.
The first quarter is taken away here with 5 seconds left. Looking to get maybe one more play here. They will.
One more
There's
play.
a bad snap here, but it's picked up, and he's going backwards.
going down.
And that will
That tackle.
end the first quarter. So it is way closer than it was last game. 7-0 Vikings. and we'll see you in the second quarter of action.
Take a moment to thank him for his hard work and dedication to our student athletes. Thank you, Mike Gamer.
Welcome back to second quarter action. The field has been flipped, so now they're on the left side of the field to begin the second quarter.
Yep, on the right side of your screen is the LaPorte Slicers now, and on the left side is the Valpo Vikings, who we've seen some impressive defensive and offensive plays.
So here is a 1st and 13 coming up on the 19-yard line. Looking, is getting chased. And looking, he's going to throw it. Pass is
overshot, and he's down at the 28, I believe. A huge loss. I believe that's an 18-yard loss. Incomplete pass. Oh, my fault. My apologies. Incomplete pass.
Like you said earlier, we're all human. We all make mistakes.
You bring up a good point.
3rd and 13 coming up here for these Slicers, who are looking to get a score here.
They're definitely lucky that that I was wrong, because you do not want to loss that heavy.
So if LaPorte scores here, it'll be the first touchdown they've allowed since week 1 against Penn. So looking to keep the streak going for unscored points. Here's the pass.
With the throw to 10.
Again, it's overthrown. And we've seen a lot of overthrown passes here from LaPorte.
He's definitely got an arm, but he's got to work on slowing that arm down just a little bit. That pass was intended for Drew Flores.
He's definitely got the cannon for an arm, but sometimes
cannon needs just a little less gunpowder.
Definitely does. I love how you said that. That was chef's kiss.
Thank you, sir.
So they're looking to...
They're going for a punt, number 3.
Looking for a field goal here?
No. Oh, field goal. I'm sorry. I misspoke.
Get their first points of the game here.
Whom we saw kick earlier.
Quick hold, and the kick is good. Makes it 7-3.
Those are the first points that Valpo defense has allowed.
Since Penn.
Since Penn. You're right. It's been 2 weeks since they've had a single point scored on them.
And it's better than a touchdown at least. 7-3, 11:38 left in the second quarter. So let's talk about that first quarter again. What did we see from Valpo that really stuck out to us here the most?
They definitely knew how to split that defense, but the LaPorte was able to bring some defenders into the middle, which is where they were splitting it. And they were able to get some good yardage until that change. So Valpo's probably looking to do some more passing this quarter.
And it looks like after that rushing touchdown from Davis, it looked like LaPorte has locked up Valpo since on the defensive end.
Now, as we wait for this timeout to finish, can we talk about how beautiful tonight is? You can just see the sun shining over the horizon past those trees.
This sunset is beautiful.
As the offensive team comes out to receive the kickoff for Valparaiso. Jack Doty, who we just saw score.
Down there is Tyler Verschure, Rocco Machichi, and
Thomas Berta.
Thomas
Thomas
Berta.
Berta, as you heard. Those are the 3 that are down there waiting for it.
Now, Berta also had a touchdown last game. He is one of 5. Yes, one of 5 rushing touchdowns last game. So he's, I mean, everyone's always looking for a 100-yard touchdown off the receiving.
For the kickoff return here. So LaPorte is kicking it off.
Jack Doty.
And it's
Little
going
jog up.
to Valpo off the kickoff. And it's caught. And there he
Spinning
goes.
right.
Still on his feet here, down around the 20. I believe that was Thomas Berta. So, back here on the field. We've seen a lot of good plays thus far here for the Viking offense. Here comes Justin Clark, Travis Davis, and a lot more.
Now the offensive line for Valpo is so big. They have really good talent guarding their quarterback.
And look out for Julian Stokes here on the bottom of your screen.
I would pay a little bit of attention to the fact that LaPorte has been stacking the middle of the field for about the past, I don't know, half a quarter. I would expect Valpo to the outside somewhat.
Or a deep pass.
Travis
here.
Davis with the
And
split,
Travis Davis
and he's
breaks
off.
it. And there goes, avoids another tackle.
Breaking
down
tackles.
at mid-center field.
Down at 51, I believe.
Travis Davis.
Travis Davis showing off again how incredible he can be. Last game they subbed him out early after his 2 touchdowns and incredible yardage. But maybe they're hoping to keep him in longer this game.
And the way how this game has been competitive here thus far, making it 7-3, it looks like he's going to be playing longer than last game.
I think we have an injury on the field, unfortunately. There's a flag as well. 21 is down and limping, holding against the Vikings.
So that's going to
That's
push
so
them
unfortunate.
back.
10-yard penalty.
So it'll be 1st and 20.
It will be 1st and 20, and that was such an incredible run. It really sucks to see those calls being deterred.
And you know, I don't mean to keep up bringing stuff from last game, but it brings me the Wolves vibes. Kind of how every time they got a good play, nope, get back here, you did something.
Yeah, that was
So-
definitely unfortunate to watch. But you know what? Maybe the Wolves are going to turn it around. The Vikings are sure hoping to turn it around after that unfortunate play.
So here is a 1st and 10 here. Davis with another run, but is swallowed up immediately.
And that's some yardage
And he is
that he lost.
pretty much swallowed at the line of scrimmage.
And then pushed back. No gain. My apologies.
2nd and 10.
And you really hope that they're going to move away from this running game because they have just been stopped dead in their tracks every time.
Maybe
But
sorry.
I think after that last incredible run, they were hoping that maybe they could just get another one-hit wonder, but not this time, I guess.
I don't know if it's just me, but maybe a deep pass here.
And as we expected, 13 with the catch. The
It's
ball
on his
cuts
feet,
the,
but
and
he
he's knocked by 40.
That was Daryl Davis, the tight end.
Number 40 is Kyle Friel, linebacker.
So that was a pretty good tackle there.
Lucas Del Ria actually got that tackle.
And a 3rd and 4 coming up here as we approach 10 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. And what has been a very interesting game here for both teams.
Fake
And
run and then
Clark?
run by Clark.
Look like, and he's still on his feet and still going down around the 40.
What a recovery. He stumbles and then he gets back up.
Got up like nothing happened there.
That was an incredible read by him. I don't know if too many people saw the confusion in the middle of that LaPorte defense right before he snapped the ball. Both tackles were bouncing back and forth. They couldn't quite figure out where they wanted to sit.
And Clark once again finding holes and just running through the defense to get another 1st down here.
And that's going to be offsides. I saw somebody take off way too early.
Yeah, that was the right defensive end of LaPorte that jumped into the neutral zone there.
Yep, I believe that was number 9.
So they'll be
at the
going
penalty zone.
forward 5 yards here.
Lucas Del Rio.
And they will go 5 yards. It's 1st and 5 at the
5-yard
46.
gainage.
I'll take a free 5 yards.
Everyone likes that, except for the defense.
Play is back on.
Here's the snap.
And Clark pass is caught.
To 38. He got sandwiched right there. 38 would be Rocco Machichi. Our player to look out for. That player is definitely someone to look out for. PC3 Media's player to look out for, in fact.
So a 2nd and 1 here coming up. Is they're right once again at mid center field. So here's another run here from Travis Davis, and he got up there for second.
And that's a first down for Valparaiso.
And this rushing attack has really been working here tonight. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I think that the defense had the same mindset as me. Maybe you should switch this up. Maybe you should switch to passing. But they just kept
Here's a
running.
run here from Clark.
Clark, and he's tripped up.
Justin Clark carries off right tackle.
Now these rushes by Clark, Davis, they've really been working here
Absolutely,
so far. So LaPorte's got to look out for that. They run quick, so obviously you got to be aware of that type of stuff.
You can see number 5,
You
Clark.
can't let them slip. They'll be gone just like that.
That's true. He's getting. You can see Clark getting a little frustrated. He's definitely. I don't think he was expecting such rough and tough defense from the LaPorte Slicers.
Maybe they're just frustrated they can't contain him here. So here is a handoff. Excuse me, this is right to Clark once again.
I believe that's a 1-yard gainage. No gain. Never mind.
So a 3rd down coming up at the 38.
Tackles made by Javel Broom.
Tackle was made by Javel
Third and
Broom.
6 for the Vikings.
So 3rd down here.
3rd and 6. Yep.
I'd watch for that little hitch pass at about the 30-yard line.
So here it is. Here's the pass. It's
Clark
caught.
off to 89.
And 89 is off.
And he's
89
off.
still on his feet. And
And that's a touchdown.
no, the ball's
No.
fumble.
But he got it. They got it back.
Touchdown.
The Clark pass is complete to Keegan Begley.
What a recovery.
And that catch
There was a flag on the field.
Flag.
was Keegan
There's a
Begley.
flag there, though.
But that was a
We'll see who it's
that play was
against.
flagged.
So you see
Vikings are definitely hoping
the
that it was
Vikings
LaPorte.
questioning that there. You can see.
The fact that he's talking to the Vikings coach means it's going to be on LaPorte. Personal foul, roughing the passer, on LaPorte.
Foul, roughing the passer.
Oh man,
And
it sucks to
that's-
see that.
Penalty is declined.
Is another
Valparaiso.
Valparaiso touchdown.
You love to see
Touchdown,
it,
Valparaiso.
and you love Jennings.
I'll take that as a touchdown. Definitely got a little more confusing there.
Fumble was recovered in the
So-
end zone by Julian Stokes for the
Julian
Valparaiso
Stokes saved the play there to get the touchdown.
Absolutely, very impressive to see the instant instincts from the Valpo offense. The second they knew that ball was on the floor, they were diving for it. And here's the kick by
It's the kick. Kick is up.
Justin
kick is good.
Kopp. And the kick is good.
So that makes it 14-3 now. That play right there reminded me of the 2006 AFC Championship game with the Patriots and Colts. The Patriots went up there at that time 14-0.
Definitely, everybody that's fans of the Valpo is definitely loving this game because they're showing how impressive their prowess is.
That was a really good job of hustle and awareness by the Viking offense, because what happened on that fumble was as the receiver got down there, he reached across and got hit right at the goal line, which made him fumble the ball, and it was a really good job of awareness by the other Viking offensive players to dive on it in the end zone.
Again, that was Stokes with the recovery and the save. for
Julian
the
Stokes,
touchdown.
yep. Wide receiver diving for that ball. Now you might want to get in shape just like these guys, and if you do, make sure to check up Extra Mile Fitness. They can definitely help you get in shape. As we'll see, LaPorte is getting a pep talk from their coach, and they're getting ready to receive that kickoff.
Now, if you notice, the ball's being placed a whole lot farther up the field because Valpo's coach decided to take the penalty that was called for roughing the passer. He took the 15 yards on the kickoff and kept the touchdown. That's what that decision was about there at the end.
Impressive quick thinking from the coach, but you always have to expect that. They've always got tricks up their sleeves.
Very smart by him as well.
Now let's see if he can put it through the uprights. Doesn't mean anything, but let's see if he can put it through the uprights and let him not score on this or receive on this one.
Maybe get a touchback here.
They're definitely hoping for that. Is that a
So here it is, the kickoff.
by Justin Kopp?
Kopp is the kick. And
Caught by 14.
caught, but is down.
Caught in the end zone, and that's a touchback.
LaPorte at the 20-yard line.
And they will be starting at the 20-yard line. The LaPorte Slicers, who are on the right side of your screen. If you're just joining us, it's been a very impressive game so far for both sides. 14-3, Valparaiso Vikings lead.
And even though it's a 14-3 lead from the Valpo Vikings, I mean, props to LaPorte. They've definitely made some plays here and there. And we've seen a glimpse of clutch plays. So
LaPorte is nowhere near out of this game here.
Oh, absolutely not.
it can always be worse.
Yep.
So here's the snap. Here's the pass. It's caught.
By number 6, that's a rough tackle.
Kind of swallowed him up right there.
RJ England's pass complete to Gavin Garrett.
That was to Gavin Garrett.
The tackle was
It's a nice job of Valpo with not giving him extra yards, making
Man
sure
running
that
off the field.
they're getting their sure tackles after the catch.
That really was a big hit. If you ever end up in a big hit and you need a new car, check out Team Chevy.
Here's the pass. Pass is caught
By number 7.
What a good grab.
That would be Dylan Salisbury, who we heard his name earlier.
And moves the
That's
chains.
another first down for the Slicers.
Slicer first down.
And maybe they can get a score here.
At the 31.
So LaPorte looking to score a touchdown here,
They definitely want to break the ice between them right now.
and especially before half, because remember, Valpo does receive in the second half coming up. So here it is. Pass,
11 with the throw
caught,
again. And he can't be taken down.
and it's again from 7.
England's pass complete to
LaPorte seems to have changed up their strategy a little bit here. They're going with the quicker release from the quarterback, these shorter routes, trying to stay away from that Valpo defense, that rush up the middle.
Definitely. And that was another catch by Dylan Salisbury.
Salisbury's been making a couple plays here.
That's twice in a row.
Seems like that might be the guy they might have to rely to for the passing or for the receiving game here.
Well, if he keeps playing like this, I'd want to rely on him.
So here it is. Anglin looking, long pass is
Just barely out of
there.
reach.
And again, it's to 7. Dylan Salisbury would have been the 3rd time.
That would have been an extremely impressive catch. But we know he can do it. He's done it before earlier in the game.
And that's a 3rd and 4 coming up here. So 6:01 left here in the second quarter of action.
Chase Schroeder in the coverage for the Vikings.
Chase Schroeder was on coverage for that pass for the Vikings.
So here it is. Aglin looking.
Scrambling
Still
a little
looking.
bit.
Still
He's
looking.
very
Almost
far
gone to the
back.
ref. And here the pass is
Caught!
Dylan Salisbury.
RJ England's pass complete to Dylan Salisbury.
That's the 4th straight target
Is a
and the
Slicer
3rd
first
reception.
down.
Now, I don't think I saw too much from Dylan Salisbury last game, but he's definitely coming out of his shell.
He's coming alive here in the second quarter when they need it. And Salisbury, that's his 3rd reception here on this drive.
So does that mean that Salisbury stakes his claim to the 50-yard line?
I suppose it does.
Could be.
Would that make it a Salisbury stake?
Yes, it will.
Adeline passes
Ah.
dropped. That was dropped from Ali Kring, who made a couple plays earlier on. 2nd down.
Jaden tried to laugh, but he held.
You know,
I tried.
We're all having fun here, you know. I mean, crack a couple jokes here and there.
You can't have everything be too serious.
I guess so.
Carson was on the coverage for the last play.
So, 2nd down.
Sorry
and
if you
10.
guys are hearing a little bit of a whine. We're not sure what's going on.
It's the pass.
Short pass
It's
to
caught.
6.
That was caught from Gavin
Gavin
Garrett.
Garrett. We've
the
also
wide
heard his
receiver.
name a few times.
Yeah, see, and there it is again where trying to stay away from those long patterns, they're going with that short route. And Valpa's doing a really nice job of wrapping up the tackles when they can make the catch.
Well, those short passes haven't been really working out here for LaPorte tonight.
No, they definitely haven't, and I'm sure that they want to keep running with that.
Nearly
LaPorte wants to keep
tackled
running
every
with short.
time.
But, I mean, it worked that play.
So a 3rd down and 9 here.
High
And he's
pressure.
pushed all the way back. The pass
What
is
a
caught.
catch.
And that was Kai Jones, the running back. But
Number
it's still
23.
a 4th down, though.
Still 4th down. You assume that they're going to be going for some.
And I believe they will go for a 4th down here.
Yeah, you think. I mean, they've only got about 6 yards to cover.
And I don't see why not either. Looks like they need it. They need to get something going here, a rhythm, whatever.
I mean, sometimes you never know. Sometimes.
And we've seen the rhythm from Dylan Salisbury.
I believe that's a timeout.
Impressive catches. A timeout has been called. And that's from LaPorte. The timeout is. So LaPorte moving the chains here late in the 2nd quarter here of action.
Now, I think personally that we've seen a little less defensive aggressiveness from the Vikings. I mean, in the 1st quarter, they had an interception and almost another one and a bunch of tackles, but I don't think I've seen too much from them defensively in the 2nd quarter. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think that's probably what their coach is talking to them about right now, is just to pick up that defensive aggressiveness.
And earlier on, it was Ampliotis with the interception.
Vikings aren't known for defending, but these ones sure want to be.
Especially in the last 2 games, we've seen really brutal defense here from the Vikings.
And here comes the lineups. If you're ever looking for a lineup, go check out A Cut Above. They were recently opened. They can definitely help you out. That's A Cut Above with a K. Here comes the offensive line.
So they are going for it here on 4th down, as they'll need to get something here to change the momentum here.
And if they don't get this, they're probably setting the offense, the Viking offense.
Well, you'll be
up
looking
really
at
well.
14-3 and still down with them having another
And they're
possession.
blitzing hard.
And he's down just
taken
like that.
down at the 50-yard line.
It was swallowed up there from
you could
Ty
see.
Veen, the linebacker. And turnover on downs. And a Valparaiso 1st down.
And you could see how aggressive they were pushing up. There were about 8 or 9 people all up in that line ready to blitz.
And he didn't even have time to even turn around.
No,
It was
he
just-
didn't.
Veen was right there. And
Valparaiso's defensive coordinator had that scouted the entire way. He knew exactly what was coming.
what an impressive play
Like to see
from
preparedness.
the Viking defense.
In fact, you'd love to see it.
So here's
Snap to Clark and
It's a hand,
lateral.
It's a tip off to Davis.
Davis, and he jumps over the.
Look at that.
What an
The
incredible play.
athleticism from this kid, Davis,
Travis Davis. Another incredible play.
making inspirational play after another.
Just like Steph Curry.
Look at Curry, man. So inspirational.
Travis Davis has definitely been the player to watch tonight.
And he's been arguably the player of the game here so far.
So far, but we still got a whole half to go.
I agree with you. We still got a whole other half.
And this
so
has been an enticing game.
very interesting one here.
Travis Davis with another run.
Here's
Oh,
the pass.
I was faked
It's
out.
overthrown. That was intended to Daryl Davis, the tight end.
Now,
Man,
what you have to pay attention here, though, is was that backwards?
It looked a little bit backwards.
Because if it's backwards, then the yardage goes to where it went out of bounds as opposed to just being an incomplete.
I believe that was incomplete, though,
It looks like they're calling it incomplete.
because as
That's
far as
lucky.
I'm concerned,
Okay.
he never was down when he threw it, or he wasn't.
Well, no, it doesn't matter. If he throws it backwards, it's a backwards lateral. It's actually a live ball until it goes out of bounds.
That yes,
It's basically a fumble.
right.
And that was lucky.
I
and
definitely see that point there.
I even got faked out by the Valpo offense.
And
they
speaking of
weren't-
faking out, look at that. They're going all the way back, and Clark's just going to have to slide there.
That's so unfortunate.
And the Vikings are going all the way back about 20 yards.
The offense wasn't paying attention. I'm surprised. I've never seen that happen before for the Vikings.
We were just talking, and they'll need the timeout there.
That was definitely unforeseen.
I will tell you that I can't see into his helmet, obviously, but I think Clark, when he picked up that ball, thought, hey, here I go, turned around and said, no.
Yeah, we definitely saw. I thought he was going to try throwing it down the field there somewhere.
That's definitely a momentum crusher.
Well, it's definitely not something you want in a game, obviously. So, and it's definitely a play that the Vikings rather not ever have happen to them again, but
I'm confused.
I digress.
I'm confused on the miscommunication. I feel like usually the quarterback calls when the play starts.
And I believe Clark even took a second to realize, crap, the ball is right behind me instead of in my hands.
Yeah, I think he was still talking to the coach, I believe.
Yeah, it looked like it wasn't supposed to be
that.
snapped.
No,
So this is a
wasn't.
3rd and 33.
Man, that's unfortunate.
And they're back in their own field.
23
They're back in their own
loss.
territory. Maybe a long pass down the field?
I'm sure
Can make up for it.
Well, the other thing
Rakamuchichi's down there somewhere.
the other thing you may see is a draw run right here just to try and get some yardage back so they
Or
can
maybe
punt it.
run down some time here. It will be a long
pass
pass.
is to 13.
And it is
He gets tripped up by 31.
a questionable call there. No call. 4th down.
And I think they're going for a punt.
They are. So Kopp will kick it off here for us, and Kring will be the one receiving.
No, I will say,
punt.
I saw him get tripped. Whether or not it was on purpose,
It
but I
did
believe
look
that's
like
pass
that, but
interference.
that's why maybe he was questioning if there was a call there or not. And of course, the ref didn't see it, so
And you can't expect him to see everything, but
I suppose not.
you can
And
definitely expect the coach to see everything.
yes. So
And that's a
Kopp
punt?
with the kick to Kring. It's caught.
And it's
a fair
caught.
catch.
Ollie Kring with the catch.
We've heard from him here a couple times tonight.
So you can see the offensive lineups coming out.
So we're under 4 minutes left, 3:58 left in the second quarter. First down at the 29.
Man, that clock seems like it's taking forever to tick down. A lot of stoppage of play.
So there's been a lot of variables here tonight for both teams.
Definitely, yeah.
So a new possession, a new drive for LaPorte.
Man, and you have to imagine this never would have happened if that miscommunication didn't happen.
Maybe that bad snap there could maybe get the momentum up once again, as here it is. Aglin looking, and the pass broken up. He was swarmed by 2 Valpo defenders, and second down. That was intended to Deegan Mason, the tight end.
It was intended for
So-
Keegan Mason, as you just heard.
So here is a second down here for LaPorte. Aglin hands it off.
And he is
Gonna get
walking
pushed
with
back.
the defense.
Back further there than he wanted to. So that was to Nathan Dona, the running back. We've heard Dona a couple of times here tonight. So here's another third down here, and they're looking to not go third and out once again. So, LaPorte trying to get something here going before the half. And
6
Aglin,
with the blitz.
and here it goes.
And he's running
17
back.
right
If he
there.
gets tackled,
The pass is
that would have been
incomplete.
huge.
4th
Incomplete.
down. What a great defensive play there. He was getting chased by
Number
Deegan.
6. Peter Crossan, who we saw get a
Crossan,
tackle
excuse me.
earlier.
I was about to say the player from LaPorte, but excuse me there for that thing. It's a 4th down once again, and they go third and out.
And again, there's that linebacker blitz getting into LaPorte's backfield.
3:06 left.
the defensive line has definitely been very impressive for Valpo tonight.
So here it is. Comes the punt. And this is going to get
Caught
look like it bobbled off the floor
by
there for a second.
16. Tyler Verschure. Now, in their game against, in their very first game of the season, Tyler Verschure led the entire team in all-purpose yards. And last game, he had that incredible pick
And
six.
I can totally see why.
He's definitely a very impressive player.
And one you have to look out for. No
You had
matter
that
what.
interception earlier that got overturned.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate to see for the Vikings.
And
But
again, that would have been his second.
yes, but I mean, you have to imagine how happy the LaPorte slicers are.
I know I would be. So here's Clark
Clark with
off
the
the
run.
run.
Oh, and he breaks the
Breaks
tackle.
a tackle.
And then he gets pushed out of bounds.
Gets into LaPorte territory.
Pushed out of bounds by Kyle Friel, linebacker.
For another Valpo first down. Looking to score one more time before the half is over here.
It is a Viking first down at the LaPorte.
Viking first down at the 48. As my co-host Ethan had just said. The
Okay,
defense,
Rocco Machichi up top.
Definitely look out for
Look
him.
out for Machichi. This is exactly what I was going to say. For all you know, Machichi could be down there already.
run by Travis
So
Davis, splitting the defense.
Carrying the pile there for a second,
He
but
gets
he's
a
down.
he gets a lot of yardage by just riding the defense.
He really does. I mean, it seems
I
like
mean-
every play he seems to be carrying the pile with him.
He's
Last game,
literally
that was
on top
Clark.
of him and just rolling around.
And he's like, that's fine. I'll take you with me. We can score this touchdown together.
Exactly. Like true friends. The Vikings offense is definitely very good at deception. I've seen a lot of times them faking runs and plays and it actually being very confusing. I even got juked by them earlier this game. 2 minutes left.
So here is
Run by number
the
4.
run. The run from Thomas Berta, the running back.
Left tackle.
And that is 3rd and short.
As you can see, Travis Davis coming back in. Maybe they're looking to run again.
Broom. 3rd and 1 for the Vikings.
3rd and 1 for the Vikings here
That
with
last
a
tackle
minute.
was from Javel Broom, the linebacker.
Handoff to
Here's the run.
38.
Machichi.
Rocco Machichi.
And Machichi
Our
turns on the Jets for the Valpo first down.
Like my friend Ethan just said here, Rocco Machichi, our PC3 media player to look out for, getting another Valparaiso first down.
Here in this little 2-minute drill here.
They're definitely hoping to score with a minute 30 left
90
in the
seconds
half.
left to be exact right here. So.
And the
comes
snap is
Clark.
off.
Clark here with the
He's
run.
running it right down the middle.
And gets a good amount of yards there. Clark.
Now, earlier in the first half, in the first quarter, we saw them close off that middle, but I think here in the second quarter, they've become a little relaxed.
Well, they just can't seem to catch up to him most of the time here. It seems like Clark or Davis is off.
Oh, absolutely. They are some speed demons.
Those have been the two. That's been the duo here so far.
I would definitely say so.
So here's Clark with
Clark
another
with the
rush.
run and the juke.
Breaks through it there
He's-
and gets a first down and goal.
That is another Valparaiso first down.
And once again moves the chains.
They're inching closer and closer to
And
that.
that's that first and goal I just said a little bit ago. Here's the play.
Another run by Justin Clark.
And Clark still on his feet.
And that's
for the
another
touchdown.
Valparaiso touchdown.
So just like that, it is 20-3.
20-3 with 43 seconds left until the half. And that halftime show will be brought to you by JJ's Pizza. Grab something for dinner while you watch the halftime show.
44 seconds left. And what has been a Valparaiso half, to say the least. They definitely have been dominating here. So here is the kick coming up.
And that touchdown was definitely insured by Paladin Insurance Advocates.
Kick is good, making
And the
it
kick is good.
21-3.
21-3 to end the half. I mean, I can't speak already. Maybe LaPorte will pull out a touchdown in these last 45 seconds.
Well, we'll just have to see what they have up their sleeves here, but Hasn't been showing here. Maybe it'll finally click in.
And this is starting to look like last week.
Well,
The Vikings versus the Hammond, the Wolves.
And remember, Valpo does receive in the second half to start.
Yeah,
So they'll probably go off of where they're starting off here.
they're coming off a touchdown, and then as long as nothing crazy happens here for the LaPorte Slicers offense, they're coming with crazy momentum off a touchdown with just some crazy runs down the middle. And I'm sure their coach is going to lay into them halftime.
Again, that last
talking about
touchdown was
defending
from
the middle.
Clark.
That was Justin Clark, number 5. Cop kicking off here, number 93. He is a skilled kicker. We've seen him kick plenty of time. And here he is lining up. You can see the Vikings defense. They're so hyped. And they're out here acting like dogs.
Acting like Vikings, to be exact.
And the
Valparaiso Vikings. So here's the kickoff. So that is to A.J. Burinsky.
And he is quick on his feet. That was Ollie Krigg.
Or, excuse me, yes, that was
Ollie Krigg.
Ollie Krigg.
And you can see he has very good foot movement. I'm surprised I didn't hear too much from him last game.
He
But
really does. And you know what? He's been making a lot of pretty good plays here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we hear more from him here coming up in the second half of action.
At their own 31.
in about 40 seconds of playtime, you'll get to watch the Vikettes perform on the halftime show brought to you by JJ's Pizza.
Go get yourself a treat during the halftime show.
But do it after the Vikettes are done.
Yes, after.
Make sure you're watching.
Yes, after the Vikettes. You have to watch them first.
I personally recommend their jalapeno poppers.
Yes, as that is caught, but not for a lot, though.
I believe that's only a 1-yard gain. Another catch by Ollie Kring. He is definitely their main option for wide receivers.
And we've seen him make a good amount of plays here tonight, but not good enough as LaPorte has not even scored a touchdown here yet.
They're definitely wanting.
And they are looking, they'll be looking for answers here coming up in the second half.
I'm sure their coach has got a lot of words regarding.
Well, the best way, see,
defense.
The best way to describe the first half for LaPorte was sloppy. So going into the locker room, coach has to remind him, hey, we're still in this game. We're not far here.
Let's see another
And the
scramble.
pass here is
Caught. But there's a flag on the field.
That was from Dylan Salisbury.
There's a flag on the field.
It'll be against LaPorte. So, all that for nothing.
Yeah, that certainly looked like offensive pass interference down here right in front of the Vikings bench.
And Salisbury making another impressive catch. So, he's definitely been the lookout player for LaPorte.
Kring and Salisbury are
Here's the call. Let's see what he says. That's a legal touching. So what that means is he actually went out of bounds. It means he touched out of bounds and came back in and was the first one to touch the ball.
All right, you hate to see it on such an impressive catch.
And that was a very impressive catch there from Salisbury.
That's happened multiple times. You can tell that they definitely have the skill, but maybe working on a little bit more discipline, watching where they're going. That's probably what their coach is going to talk to them about during the halftime show, brought to you by JJ's Pizza.
Well, yeah, because if you're the Vikings defensive coaches, you're teaching the players, the corners, to use that sideline to their advantage. The corner right there did exactly what he's supposed to do. He pushed it right out of bounds.
Absolutely.
So they're going to get pushed back 15 more yards on top of that, making that 2nd and 25 here with 24 seconds left in the second quarter.
Tough loss.
Here is the
Run
rush.
by 27.
Doesn't get a whole lot there. Spencer Pernell.
Spencer Pernell, a wide receiver, was the run.
He is a freshman, believe it or not.
I'm sure he's happy to get some minutes here in the first half. That was a tackle by Ty Veen.
And we heard from Ty Veen a little bit earlier here. And that will wrap up the first half of action, making it 21-3. A very impressive half here from the Vikings offensively and defensively once again here So, here comes the halftime show coming up, and watch the Vikettes as we wrap up the first half.
The latest Hall of Fame class of VHS will be inducted, and we are honoring the inductees tonight. First of all, Bob Barthold. Before he became a well-known assistant basketball coach, Bob had a solid high school athletic career before graduating from VHS in 1969. He played 2 years of varsity basketball for Hall of Fame coach Virgil Sweet. As a senior, he averaged 8.1 points per game as Valpo recorded a 16-8 record while winning the sectional. For his career, Barthold scored 303 points and was a teammate of VHS Hall of Famers Joe Otis and Steve Butterfield. He also excelled in tennis for the Vikings before heading to Dakota State College in Madison, South Dakota. He was a two-sport athlete in college as well. Barthold was a teacher and coach at Valparaiso from 1974 to 2007. During that time, he was a basketball assistant coach under the regimes of Dale Cicciora, Skip Collins, and Bob Hunter. In those 33 years, the Vikings averaged more than 16 wins per season and won 22 sectionals, including 9 in a row from 1978 to 1986. Highlights included semi-state appearances in 1976, 1980, 1981, 1983, 1994, and 2004. He was on the bench with Hall of Fame coach Bob Hunter for what is considered the greatest sports team in school history. The 93-94 squad that finished 28-1, led by stars Bryce Drew and Tim Bishop. Bob Barthold. Next we have Jason Cook. Jason was a 2002 graduate as one of the most accomplished wrestlers in school history. The son of Hall of Famers Lori Cook, a gymnastics coach, and John Cook, wrestling coach. Jason finished his high school wrestling career by winning the state championship in the 135-pound weight class and finished with a perfect 48-0 record. He received the Mental Attitude Award in the state finals. He was also named the outstanding wrestler of the state meet that season and went on to win the national championship at the National Wrestling Coaches Association tournament in Delaware. Jason was also a state runner-up as a junior at 125 pounds and as a freshman at 103 pounds. He was named the team MVP 3 of his 4 years and has the school record for wins in each weight class in which he competed. Jason wrestled at Purdue and has spent his career as a teacher and wrestling coach. He's been the head coach at Hoover since 2018. Jason Cook. Next we have Jason's mother, Lori Cook. It is unlikely that any coach will ever equal or surpass the accomplishments of longtime Valparaiso gymnastics coach Lori Cook. One of the pioneers of the sport at the IHSA level, Lori took over the Viking gymnastics program in 1975 and continued to coach until retiring after the 2021 season. The Vikings won the program's 13th state title at Lori's final meet as coach in 2021. the 13th state championship ranked #1 in state history. Lori's teams also finished as state runners-up 9 times. Her gymnastics team won 41 state event or all-around championships, and the Vikings own state meet event records in the vault, floor, and all-around. She led the Vikings to their first state championship in the 1981 season and won an unprecedented 4 consecutive titles from 2008 to 2011. She competed in college at Indiana State and placed in the all-around in the Association for Intercollegiate Athletics for Women national meet in 1973, prior to the NCAA sponsoring women's sports. She earned a bachelor's degree in physical education from Indiana State and a master's degree in secondary education from IU Northwest. Lori continues to stay involved in gymnastics and in her free time enjoys spending time with her grandchildren. Lori Clark. Our next inductee is Scott Drew. Scott Drew is now known as the head coach of the 2021 National Champion Baylor Bears men's basketball team. A 1969 VHS graduate, Scott was an excellent tennis player for the Vikings. After graduating from Baylor, he began his coaching career with his father Homer at Valparaiso University. He developed a reputation as one of the nation's top recruiters while at BU, particularly among international players. He was head coach of BU for 1 season in 2002 and 2003 before heading to Baylor. He is now recognized as one of the best college basketball coaches in the nation. After 19 seasons, his record at Baylor is 399 and 222, including winning at least 18 games every year since his 5th season. This year, Scott released a book called The Road to Joy, detailing how his faith has helped him succeed. He lives in McGregor, Texas with the wife Kelly, daughter Mackenzie, and sons Pete and Brody, and it's not possible for Scott to be here tonight. Our next inductees are the Hanlon brothers. Mike Hanlon, class of 99, Matt Hanlon, class of 2002, and Tim Hanlon, class of 2006. Each excelled in multiple sports for the Vikings. Mike is one of the strongest tennis players in school history. He finished his varsity career with a 62-5 individual record and led the Vikings to the New Line Athletic Conference and sectional championships in 3 consecutive seasons. Ham was named team MVP of the baseball team his senior year. Matt was a three-sport star, winning 10 varsity letters, with 3 each in football and basketball and 4 in baseball. As a senior, he was named DAC MVP in all 3 sports, the only athlete ever to do so. Football may have been his strongest sport as he led the Vikings in the conference in rushing yards as a sophomore, junior, and senior. He had 21 touchdowns as a junior and 32 as a senior when he helped lead the Vikings to a runner-up finish in the Class 5A state championship game. He is the VHS all-time leader in rushing, 4,588 yards, touchdowns, 63, and scoring with 384 points. Tim earned 5 letters at VHS, including 3 in football and 2 in baseball. He earned all-conference, all-area, and all-state honors as a senior linebacker, including runner-up defensive MVP in the conference. Tim received first-team academic all-state honors in both football and baseball his senior year. The Hanlon brothers. Our next inductee is Robbie Hummel. Now one of the nation's premier college basketball analysts, 2007 graduate. Robbie Hummel gained insight to the game early in life while rising up in the ranks of the Valparaiso basketball system. During his 3 seasons playing basketball for Hall of Fame coach Bob Hunter, the Vikings went 66-9, advancing to the regional championship each year. Hummel was an Indiana All-Star in 2007, an Indiana Junior All-Star in 2006, made first-team All-State as a senior, and was the 2007 Goodland Athletic Conference co-MVP, along with teammate Scott Martin. As teammates, they ranked 3rd in school history with a combined 2,247 points. Hummel sits at number 20 on the all-time school scoring list with under 882 points and 11.9 points per game average. He went on to star at Purdue and now serves as a college basketball color commentator for ESPN, the Big Ten Network, and Westwood One Radio. we have longtime athletic director Sam Rasmussen, who was a teacher, coach, and administrator at VHS from 1972 to 2011. Sam wore many hats before becoming athletic director in 1985, a position he held until retiring in 2011. In addition to teaching chemistry and physical education, Sam coached boys track and cross country, highlighted by back-to-back state cross-country championships in 1985 and 1986. He was named Indiana Cross Country Coach of the Year both of those seasons. As athletic director for 26 years, he oversaw a sports program recognized across the state for tradition of excellence, with teams and individuals consistently competing for Duneland Athletic Conference, local and state championships. Sam established the VHS Athletic Hall of Fame to recognize observing individuals who have contributed to the schools and communities' interscholastic legacy. Sam Rasmussen. Our last inductee is also not able to be here. Jeff Samardzija is a 2003 graduate. Samardzija is not only one of the best athletes in school history, but also in the state of Indiana. A wide receiver is one of only a select few of VHS history to start every varsity football game for all 4 years. By his senior year, he's recognized as one of the state's best players and was runner-up for the Indiana Mr. Football Award. As a junior, he helped lead the Vikings to a 13-2 record and runner-up finish in the Class 5A state championship. As a senior in 2002, the Vikings finished 12-2 and were upset in the semi-state. But Samardzija finished the season with 1,044 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns. In baseball, he's a 3-year letterman and was an all-state honoree as a center fielder. As one of the state's top football recruits, he chose Notre Dame, where he was also allowed to play baseball. On the gridiron, Samardzija became a star for the Fighting Irish. He was a 2-time All-American receiver, and as a baseball player, he chose baseball over the NFL, where he would have likely been a first-round draft pick. He was a 5th-round selection by the Cubs in 2006, and recently finished a 13-season career in the major leagues, playing for Cubs, White Sox, A's, and Giants, and he's represented by his father, Sam. Congratulations to our Hall of Fame class of 2022. Let's give them all a round of applause. begin our musical portion of the halftime. With the Valparaiso High School Band to fill the directions of band directors Miss Andrea Kessler and Miss Sarah DeRossi, and student drum major Angela Matthews, Gabby Green, and Margot Byrne. Tonight, the VHS band performs music from the film Little Shop of Horrors. Little Shop of Horrors is a 1986 American horror comedy film directed by Frank Cobb. It's an adaptation from the musical of the same title. Tunes that you will hear include the follow Dante's Son of the Simmer and Don't Take It Flash. Let's hear Little Shop of Horrors.
Welcome back to the second half here of action. what's been a one-sided affair so far, but LaPorte is far from over. Here in a little bit, we're going to have a very, very special guest appearance from the man himself, Robbie Hummel.
Yeah, I'm very excited to meet him. Me personally, I'm a very big fan. He is a Valpo High School alumni. As I'm sure most of you who were tuning in during halftime still saw, we had some like recognizing of Valpo alumni. Jeff Samardzija, who played for the Cubs. And of course among them was Robbie Hummel, who has definitely been important throughout Valparaiso's stint as an incredible football team.
In case you didn't know, he played 4 years in Purdue, was drafted by the Minnesota Timberwolves as a power forward listed at 6'8". So definitely excited to talk to him here in a bit.
As you can see, LaPorte and Valpo warming up to get started here in the third quarter. It's definitely been a fun game to watch. I can say that for sure.
Oh, it definitely has been. I mean, Valpo's quick offense, Valpo's quick defense, they've just been on top here. LaPorte is trying to redeem themselves in the second half, but Valpo will receive to begin the second half. So
even though they've been dominating this game, it's always unfortunate for the losing team to see that they won't be the ones receiving.
yeah, it's always a shame when you're already down by a big margin. You can't even get the ball to start off. So
Definitely.
they definitely got to be on Valpo here in the second half if they want a chance.
Yeah, like you said earlier, Valpo's very fast offense has been definitely imposing for the LaPorte Slicers. How do you feel about how the defense has been adapting?
Well, I just feel like personally for both defenses, they both have had a different story. They've both been making solid plays, but it's been Valpo that's been on top with the interception and even the all the third and outs that they've done against LaPorte. And as for LaPorte, we've seen glimpse, but that's it though. They haven't been able to stop Valpo too much here, and especially on that first rushing touchdown from Davis. It definitely has been impossible to stop the running game, which has been on fire once again for the Vikings.
Now, we all know how Viking funerals work. They shoot a flaming arrow onto a boat that has their fallen comrade. Now, that fire's definitely lit already. And I'm sure they're hoping to send this one off soon.
Looking to sail it off here in about
With about a minute,
about a half an hour or so.
with about a minute left here before the game starts, I want to talk about some halftime stats. Now, we actually received these from Sam B.
He applied us with last game as
He did.
well. So
He
props
works-
to him.
He works for the Times of Northwest Indiana. And he gave us a little insight as to who he thinks is the player of the game. He chose Sammy Ampliotis.
Wow.
Now, we saw Sammy Ampliotis early on in the game getting an interception, and that was crucial for the Vikings' momentum to continue going. Sammy also has 4 tackles and 2 passes broken.
Wow.
He's definitely been someone to watch. And I think, honestly, as commentators, we've been underrating him a little bit.
Overlooking him. I'd
We
say
have
probably
definitely been
overlooking
him.
And definitely a dark horse candidate for the player of the game, perhaps?
Yep, perhaps. Sammy
We'll just have
Ampliotis,
to
again,
see.
is number 32. So
So we'll have to see here once again.
if you respect Sam B's pick of Sammy Ampliotis for player of the half,
It's
I sure
definitely
do.
possible.
Honestly, I'm looking, Sam, you just put some pressure on him.
I think so.
Because now we're looking out for him. Number 32 again. LaPorte is getting ready to kick off.
Ampliotis, and once again, that's a fun last name to say. So,
Rocco
sure.
Machichi, you hear on the announcements.
Versher and Berta are all down there waiting for the punt.
You know, that is definitely the big 3 of Valpo wide receivers this game.
It definitely has been. As you see Machichi getting ready. Jumping up and down here. Looking to get ready
Now,
for another half of football.
You were talking about Valpo's rushing game. Speaking of that, they have 204 yards in this game, and 151 of them have been rushing.
And I'm not too surprised at that fact at all. 75% of their total yards are all rushing. I'm not surprised here. It's been a total
And it's
good
caught.
game here, and here he goes.
Oh, and
Looking
he's
to get
breaking
some more.
tackles.
And
he's
he's
taking-
down 25-yard line. And here it is.
Doing great.
Nice to meet you. And here it is, the man himself, Robbie Hummel.
Now, Robbie Hummel has, you've been very important to the success of basketball around here.
Well, I will say I've been really lucky. You know, Valpo High School is a great place to grow up and play. Whether it's high school basketball, middle school basketball, the tradition of this place is really pretty amazing. You know, Bryce Drew and Scott Volk and Joe Nixon and all those guys that went on to play in college, whether it was football or basketball. And I was just fortunate to kind of keep it going with myself and Scott Martin. And now you have Brandon Newman, who's at Purdue. And I think I'm really fortunate that I got to grow up here and, you know, play for Bob Punter, who's a Hall of Fame coach. And as a kid, I wanted to play for Valpo, so this is really my dream. So it's been an awesome ride, and I'm excited to be back here tonight.
And it's a pleasure to have you here
No,
tonight.
thank you. Appreciate that.
It definitely is. And you recently had a basketball camp out here, am I wrong?
Yeah, you know, it's been a couple years. I was playing 3-on-3 basketball at the international level for USA Basketball, and because of that, it kind of had to come to an end, and we haven't started it back up. We might. But I had a great time, you know, working with kids and teaching them the fundamentals of the game, and just being around the game is something I love to do. And that's why I've been really lucky that I get to do what you guys are doing and announce games, and it kind of keeps you involved with the sport. And I think it's so cool that you guys are here tonight getting to do the game and getting to gain this experience, because it's a great experience to get to call games.
So here's a first down for the Valpo Vikings here, and a run. Never mind, the pass is caught. And there he goes, finds an opening there for a second, and he's down. That is Daryl Davis, the tight end.
It definitely is a pleasure to have you here. Speaking of Brandon Newman, did he go to your basketball camp?
No, you know, my mom was a teacher over at Thomas Jefferson Middle School, and she had him as a student, so I got to know Brandon. But he never came over to camp. He was, I think, a little too old at that point to come. But he's done a great job. You know, he was a terrific player here. I think he got runner-up in Mr. Basketball, and I know he had a little bit of a down year last year for a Purdue team that was loaded. But I think this year he's going to have an incredible opportunity to have a really, really good year.
Definitely, yeah.
The pass is incomplete there. It'll be a third down.
I was taking a look at some of your stats in college, and you've always been an incredible free throw shooter. How do you
You know what? That's a Valpo thing. That is a Valpo, Indiana
It
thing.
definitely seems like that.
It started with Virgil Sweet back in the 60s and the 70s, and he had the Valpo free throw. And, you know, when I was going to Coach Punter's camps, who's just sitting right down over there, we always were taught the Valpo free throw. And it's a very simplified method. You take out all unnecessary movement, and Valpo High School has been one of the best free throw shooting teams, not just in the state of Indiana, but also they led the country in free throw shooting in the early 90s. So that was NBA, college, and high school teams. So it's been a thing that it's ingrained. If you play here, you're going to be a good free throw shooter.
What a run
So
by
I've been
Davis
told.
there, moving the chains here for another first down. My question is to you, how was the NBA experience for you? You
It
were
was
drafted from the Timberwolves.
Yeah. So the Timberwolves drafted me late in the second round, and it was a little bit delayed. My rookie year, the Timberwolves came to me and they asked if I would go play overseas. So I played a year in Spain, which was a terrific experience. Just from a culture standpoint, and to be away from home. You know, I went to Purdue for college, so that's not exactly far. And then all of a sudden, your first year out of school, you're in Santiago de Compostela, Spain, and nobody speaks English, and you got to kind of find your way. So it was really good for me. But then I finally did get to the NBA, and it was, you know, you're playing with the best players in the world. I got to play with Kevin Love, Andrew Wiggins, now Zach LaVine, who's with the Bulls. All those guys are my teammates in Minnesota. Kevin Garnett. So just to play against the best players in the world, the Kevin Durant's, the LeBron Jameses. You know, I got to guard Kobe Bryant. That's something that I'll remember the rest of my life. You know, especially now that unfortunately he's passed on. But it just every day there is not real life. You know, like, the NBA is a different animal, and it was. I'm just glad I got 2 years of getting to experience that.
And it definitely seems like that for sure, especially nowadays here.
Yeah, no, I mean, the league has become so popular, and I think the game is in a great place, but that's the highest level of basketball on the planet. So every night you're being tested against guys that are unbelievable athletes, unbelievable skill. You look at a Steph Curry or some of the guys that are killing in the league now, and it is the talent level is ultra high.
Davis runs for another first down here, and again moving those chains. It's been Davis here on this run so far.
All those people that you mentioned, those are all big names that you got to play with.
Yeah.
And they're all known for being good teammates. I'd like to.
Yeah, I think LeBron James, I have a little bit of inside information here because my roommate from college is the video guy for the Lakers, so he works with him a lot, and he says he's a normal guy. He's one of those guys, he comes to work, he works hard. He's one of the best, most talented basketball players we've ever had, but he's been great to work with, and I think most of those guys that are at that level, they're there for a reason, and you just get to kind of see that side of it, which is a really cool thing and a cool part of being in the NBA.
My question was, were you ever nervous to play against the players? Or
Yes.
Did you ever?
Yeah, absolutely.
You heard the man. He had to guard Kobe.
Yeah,
That's
I've
right.
guarded Kobe.
It's never easy guarding
I've
Kobe.
guarded Kevin Durant, and you look at that guy, and he's a 6'11" scoring machine. And you just kind of find your way and
goal.
hang in there.
You're definitely a huge name, especially
Flag is
in
called
Valparaiso.
against Valpo. Illegal procedure.
It must be nice to come from a place that has just such high intensity and love for their sports teams.
No, there's no doubt. And I think to go in with the group of guys that went into the Hall of Fame here tonight, Matt Hanlon, I remember watching him as a kid on the football teams with Jeff Samardzija, and they were both such good players. Laurie Cook is an amazing coach that's won a ton of state titles. Her son Jason, an amazing wrestler. I'm really honored to be a part of this, and it was always a goal of mine to play for Valpo High School on the basketball team, to be an Indiana All-Star, and to make the Hall of Fame. And today is kind of a goal realized. So it's been a pretty cool night, and tomorrow will be really cool as well.
Inspirational words from inspirational man.
Agreed. I was not expecting to meet you tonight, but it's definitely.
It was definitely.
No, I'm glad you guys let me come up here and hop on with you guys.
It was last minute, but we definitely appreciate it.
No, happy to do it. Keep working hard. This is a really cool program. Keep taking advantage of getting to announce games, because the more you announce, the better you're going to get, and the more comfortable you'll be on the mic.
And we'll see what the call is there. And that was from Davis. He appeared to be down, so second and very short. Should line up here.
Vikings are
looking
definitely
to jump over. And see what the call is here.
Justin Clark up the middle for the touchdown.
For the touchdown. And as Jennings says, for another Valparaiso touchdown.
Well done.
I appreciate the
Punch
support.
that thing home. Love that.
I appreciate the support.
It's an unreal experience to meet you.
No, nice to meet you guys too. Thank you for having me. I
course.
appreciate it. Keep up the good work, guys.
We really appreciate it.
No problem. Good job.
Hopefully we'll see you again.
Sometime.
Have a nice night.
Yes.
Thank you. And here we see the kickoff.
It was definitely a little nerve-wracking, but here's the kick, and it's good.
By Cobb.
I never talked to an
Another
NBA
one.
player before.
No, that was definitely
a
fun experience.
Dare I even say life-changing. I've always wanted to meet an NBA player, and that is a really good start.
That definitely
What an
is.
inspirational man.
And
a Valpo native.
He had some words to say about the Valparaiso free throw program, and I have played for Valparaiso basketball, and he is not wrong. At the end of every practice, we had to do a lot of free throws.
Because you never know when the time is. When you get fouled, you got to shoot those free throws, or to end a game. You gotta hit those free throws. You can't be not missing. You can't be missing them, airballing, none of that.
They are
gonna go right in.
They are free shots. You've got to make those, and he's definitely one of the greats in terms of Valparaiso alumni and shooting. Now he also attended Purdue. Purdue is a very prestigious school, not only in basketball but also in learning. It's definitely a very big name, especially not only in basketball but also in the country. So it's very awesome to be to get the opportunity to talk to a.
It really was, and I really appreciate that we were able to talk to him.
Yeah, really big opportunity.
And it may have changed my insight on how things really work here.
Now, honestly, I'm a little envious that he got to play with players like Zach LaVine before their prime.
Yeah. Kobe, KD,
Kobe.
LeBron.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Must have been an honor to defend those guys.
Oh,
and
for
here's
sure.
Kopp with the kick.
Cop.
That's a long kick.
And that is caught by Marinsky, and Marinsky
And he is making moves.
down to the 20.
That was actually Kring. That was Kring right there on the return.
I thought that was number 4 there, AJ Marinsky, the linebacker. But I could be wrong. So,
That is first down at the 20 for the LaPorte Slicers.
LaPorte is trying to get something going here.
You know, that's the same as if they had taken a knee. Excuse me. And the
Here it
throw.
is. And the pass is overthrown.
Just barely overthrown.
Once again, overthrown passes has kind of cost them there.
That pass was intended for Drew Flores.
And for sure was on him. For sure.
He was definitely on him. Ah,
No
I like
pun
the
intended.
wordplay.
That seems to be the tempo for tonight here.
Not only has it been an honor to meet someone like Robbie Hummel, who is such a huge name around here, and even on ESPN, it's also an honor to watch this Vikings defense.
And it's just been an honor to work with you and everybody else here
Absolutely.
at PCC. So here it is. And Glenn is going to get
He's
swallowed
taken
up.
down.
And it's
Oh,
picked
and it's
off!
intercepted!
He pulled a Carson Wentz!
By number
Touchdown!
47, Caleb Christensen.
He pulled a Carson Wentz!
That was Ty Veen, my apologies.
The second straight game with a pick 6. And the Vikings up 34-3.
Ty Veen with the incredible pick 6. Now that was definitely something to witness.
Oh my goodness!
Speak of, it's an honor to watch this defense play. They are proving once and for all that they are just the better team here tonight.
Ty Veen with that.
Ty Veen, absolutely. He is, what an incredible play.
Oh my goodness.
That was,
Golly Miss Molly.
that might be the play of the game.
It could be. And that quarterback was swarmed.
And the
to say
kick is
least.
good.
That's his second interception of the game here. And so it's 35-3, Valparaiso. Oh my goodness! How about that? How about that for a change?
You know, that was definitely something to bear witness to.
And again, it looked like the play against the Colts and Titans, where Wentz kind of threw it. He just kind of tossed it off, and it went right to a Tennessee defender.
You know, about middle of the first quarter, we had a lot of high hopes for the LaPorte Slicers tonight, as they had scored against the Vikings defense for the first time since the first time in 2 weeks. But unfortunately, it looks like they kind of fell apart in the second half. However, we're not going to put this game behind them. They're not finished yet.
Definitely not. You still got a quarter and a half here to go.
We still do have a quarter and a half. I'm sure they are excited
And I'm
and
sure
definitely a little scared of their coach.
what a play from Ty Veen. Applying the pressure. How about the Viking defenders? You know, obviously
Honestly.
it wasn't just him, you know, forcing
No.
out that throw. And like I said earlier, pulled a Carson Wentz.
That's the second interception of the night, and it would have been the third if
Could have been the third if that one from for sure count.
Yep.
So here it
here's
is.
the kickoff by Kopp.
Cop. I'll get that right eventually.
And that is Kring, Oliver Kring,
Kring?
splitting the defense.
Kring had
the
a
spin move. And he was trying to knock the shoes off of those defenders, and he almost did. He is a very shifty player. Oliver Kring, Ollie Kring, apologies. He's all game. He's been very impressive on the catch.
So just like that, it's 35-3, and LaPorte has no answers and has nothing to say after that. And I believe that was the play right there that probably crushed them from coming back here in this game.
You
Down
know,
now,
I think
32.
so.
Here's a run, and gets about a couple.
And
so
when you're watching the LaPorte slicers, so on the right side of your screen right now, watching the quarterback hand that ball off, he looked so demoralized, and I'm sure after such an unfortunate play for them, but an incredible play for the Valpo defense, it must be hard to have high spirits.
And especially when you're down 35-3 here, definitely doesn't help. So here's the second play of the drive. 2nd and 6. Aglin pass is
Throws.
caught.
That was Drew Flores with the catch.
That's right, the wide receiver. So they get a first down here.
Now for LaPorte, Dylan Salzberg in the first half, he had 6 catches and 95 yards.
Wow.
He really coming to play out here tonight, but unfortunately his incredible performance is to nothing. It's to no avail.
Nothing to avail. That's right. Took
The
the words out
rush
of my
by
mouth.
Ollie Kring. Nope, that's not Ollie Kring.
Another ring in the background.
That was Nathan Donut.
And we've heard of him a couple times. here
Peter
tonight.
Crossan with the tackle for the Vikings defense. Gain of 9. 2nd and 1.
LaPorte is looking to get something or at least score here.
Now their offense is definitely has a pep in their step after the halftime show. Maybe they want to prove their cheerleaders are better.
Aglin is going all the way back, and this pass is out of bounds.
Could have been intercepted, but there just wasn't a defender
Could have
right there.
So 3rd down here coming up. And all of a sudden you kind of realize that this game is getting further and further for LaPorte to come back.
No, they need to make an incredible play right here and get some more points on the board. And if they can do that, maybe it'll be a little easier to score later in the 3rd or 4th.
Here's a run. You'll get the first here.
And that's
If
a
you were to
first down.
If you were to take the score here and combine them, Valpo has scored 87 points in the last 2 games.
That's incredible. Maybe they want to break 100.
And that is 43.5 averaged. 43.5 points averaged in
Now-
those 2 games. In that 2 game span.
You'd think after last game, when their prowess was just incredible, that they'd be a little tired. But the Vikings have not lost a single.
Bit of momentum.
Yeah, they just have been playing incredible.
So Aglin.
And he's running.
Looking. Does a
Spin
little
move,
spin
breaks
move
the
on
tackle.
him.
Oh,
But that's not good.
37 Porter.
He got smothered there.
37 for the Vikings. My bad. That is Alex Rodriguez, who I mentioned last game was the defensive player to look out for. He had 8 tackles in their first game, in Valpo's first game.
So here's a 2nd and 6 coming up for
That was definitely
LaPorte.
that was a strong tackle too.
LaPorte is looking to get something here. Like I said earlier, they're trying to get at least a score here. But it has been completely out of reach here.
And the blitz. And there's a flag. Yellow flag on the
For
play.
sure, almost caught that one, even though it wouldn't matter. There's offsides against the Vikings, and they'll move
Offsides,
them a little
wow.
bit more.
I must have missed that. I didn't see anyone go off.
That was down here on the either the outside linebacker or the defensive end. I couldn't tell which one it was, but it was at the bottom of your screen. Feel a little intimidated sitting in the seat after Robbie Hummel now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, that was
There's definitely.
a great experience.
I definitely had to take a deep breath there. I'm like, this is it. Meeting an NBA player, a very inspirational Valpo native.
That was Nathan Dona with the run.
And this is Scores
To
Around
get
the
the
League.
first down.
This is Scores Around the League presented by yours truly. Michigan City's up 14-13 against Chesterton. So Michigan City's looking to win their first game, get into the win column, and so is LaPorte. But LaPorte is in a worse situation here. So we're under 4 minutes left.
Port is definitely in the worst situation of those two at least, but I'm sure their spirits are still high. Can never give up.
Also, as mentioned earlier, Maryville and Crown Point were battling for the first spot up in the Dewland, and they happen to go up against each other tonight. It is a close matchup, 34-28, Maryville.
All right.
One of them has to go down here tonight, and Crown Point.
That was a short
Is only
pass
down
to
by
Gavin
6.
Garrett.
That is at Jeremy Stadium in
Face
Maryville.
mask. It's going to be a face mask
Face
on Valpo.
mask. That is never good to see.
Those of you that have been watching on the stream, please let us know below your comments on how you think things are going, and let us know how you think the guys did with their surprise interview with Robbie Hummel. I will tell you, they had about a 5-minute lead-in to know that Robbie was coming up here. So,
Yeah,
I'm
the
definitely
jitters.
blessed that I was able to meet the man himself.
And
So
another
is thrown.
flag.
Another score update, like Central's up 17-14 against Portage.
I'm sorry, I missed that that flag. What was it?
that was a false start on LaPorte.
False start. Okay.
And like we said last week, the new and improved PC, I shouldn't say improved because PC3 is new, but we have the new PC3 network, and we told you to be on the lookout for surprises. We just didn't tell the announcers that they were going to be part of it.
Now, earlier today, the Friday show, the weekly Friday show, was dropped on PC3 Media on both YouTube and Facebook. Make sure to
Episode
look us up.
4.
Episode
the fourth
4.
installment. It was a very funny episode, to say the least. And definitely one you should check out after the game. As gets dragged. That was Salisbury, who's made a couple highlight plays here for LaPorte.
That pass was from R.J. Englund, whom I mentioned at the start of the game. He, in the first half, had 109 yards and 11 for 28, which kind of shows how much they relied on the passing game in the first and second quarter. That was
Who it is? Nathan Donut. So,
Nathan Donut with the rush.
we've heard a good amount of plays from him tonight. I know I keep repeating myself there, but we really have. You know, he's been one of the bright spots of what has been the LaPorte offense.
That's true. And LaPorte offense has not been
They're just looking to get an
Themselves
answer
tonight.
somehow here. It's 3rd and 2. Looking to get something. This pass is overthrown once again. That was Drew Flores that he threw over, the wide receiver.
right through his
And
right through his
another
hands.
4th and 2 coming up with 2:02 left in the 3rd quarter.
And you have to imagine he's upset with himself for missing that one. That was definitely within his reach. Hopefully he's it is 4th and 2. I'm sorry, 4th down.
Question is, do you go for it or do you settle for 3 points? Personally, I would go for it because what are you really losing
I
at this
was
point?
just
You're down
about to
35.
say.
You're down 35-3. So what are you really losing here?
Yep, and they're going for it.
Look out for a deep pass here to the end zone.
Is that a timeout?
Looks like a
timeout
timeout
LaPorte.
against, and that's a timeout with LaPorte. You're right. Good call. And
I just saw the coach moving out and made a prediction.
well, it doesn't take a genius to realize that.
Well, that wasn't very nice.
I like messing with you, man. It's all in good fun.
At the end of the 3rd quarter, you can look forward to listening to Sweet Caroline, brought to you by the Vikings Stadium.
It has been a sweet performance here
Definitely
From
has.
from Valpo.
Is there a Caroline in the audience?
Is there? We gotta look. Caroline, you there?
Someone
Hello?
find Caroline.
We gotta call her up here.
If there's a
Anyway.
Carolina in the audience, please comment below, and we'll come find you.
We'll
You're
come find you.
a fan of the game.
Not to sound threatening, we'll come find you.
Send you a free hello. That's all that's
We'll
in the
come
budget.
find. Thank you for bringing
they're
up
prob-
how creepy that actually
If there
was.
really was one, they're probably like, I'm out of here.
I want to bring a little more attention to the Vikings defense. And I know we've talked about it all night, but it is just really fun to watch them close out all the passing lanes. And even if they rush, I mean, their O-line is just, they have a very big O-line.
Man, and that Valpo defensive line is deadly. And that's been the
Definitely.
success here.
And we talked a lot about the Slicers defense before this, but
So here's a 4th and 2.
and he's so
the
much
pass
pressure on him.
is incomplete.
I mean, honestly, at this
And
point, you can't
turnover
even,
on downs.
Oh, yeah, turnover on
That
downs.
is the third time this game that has happened.
At this point, you can't even really blame
They
the
have
quarterback.
three turnover on downs, same amount of points they have.
The Valpo defense is just pressuring him so hard. You have to imagine there's not much he can do at this point.
Here comes Clark in the offense.
That was a huge play for Valpo right there because the time is really running down for LaPorte here.
And as we get closer to the fourth
Justin
quarter,
Clark with the run, breaking that tackle.
and he's been breaking tackles here all night.
And just running with two bigger men on him, and he just doesn't care. Going back to that defensive play, Jennings made a good point. That was an incredible play by the defense, not only because of their pressure, but because they know that pressure gets to the quarterback. The quarterback has an incredible arm, but if you're not applying pressure constantly, he's just going to tear your defense apart. And they knew that from the start. They've definitely done their research.
And Clark has been finding ways to cut through, maybe even say slice through that defense. I'm not sorry. So here comes Davis.
And they're trying to keep him up.
They're like, we got to run down this time here.
I saw 52 trying to lift him up.
It's like, come on, you're coming with me.
You can do it.
Like, I got you. We're going together. We're going to score together.
AJ Rosinski got that tackle. I believe I brought him up earlier in the game, too.
I believe you did.
Last week. Rosinski had 13 tackles. 10 of them were his own. And like I said earlier, we talked a lot about the Slicers defense, but we haven't seen a ton from them. I'm sure they're definitely wanting to up their defensive intensity.
So here is a run from Clark. Get a couple yards there. As we're approaching the 1 minute mark of what has been a dominated game from Valpo both ends.
And again, in 1 minute, you can look forward to Sweet Caroline, presented by Valparaiso High School. The crowd goes wild when that song
That's right.
plays.
We're going to advertise ourselves.
Presented to you by PC3 Media. No.
Yours truly.
Again, in the first half alone, Travis Davis had 72 yards and a touchdown off rushing. I'm sure they want to do some more rushing.
Clark has all the space here, and the pass is
Sort of
caught to 89. And there he goes. He lost the football there. And what's the call?
That was Keegan.
LaPorte
I think
is
LaPorte came up with
indicating
that.
that they have it, and they do.
That's so unfortunate.
That was such a
big
well-designed play.
change there.
That was Keegan Begley
Wow.
that had
What a change of
that fumbled.
Valpo player is down.
I
might have
believe that is Keegan
I believe that was 89 himself.
Keegan Begley. I'm not sure if he's injured or just frustrated, but I can tell you I'd be frustrated.
But
No, it definitely looks like we have an injury.
what a play. I mean, you give props to LaPorte. They never gave up, though. Down 35-3, and they still came up with a clutch defensive play. Props to LaPorte.
I think I jinxed them myself.
And that LaPorte defense showing up.
Yeah. Anyways, yes, the LaPorte defense is looking to turn it around. And he's up.
Glad to see him up and walking. Definitely a good sign.
It's definitely a good sign to see him get up, but it's never a good sign to see a player go down, especially this early in the season.
I will tell you on that play, it was such a well-designed play on the rollout there off the play action. It was wide open and a beautifully thrown pass. He just went to make that move around the end of the, looked like the linebacker. I couldn't tell if it was the linebacker or the safety. And it was a nice hit by the LaPorte player. Just put that helmet right on the ball, and out it came.
He was right behind him there. Kind of reminded me of the Pierre Garçon play against Ed Reed in the 2009 AFC Divisional Round game of the Colts and Ravens.
And you got a lot of trivia. I like that.
I really do. So here it is. Aglin
With the throw.
looking. Passes.
And he just misses it. And
Flag
a flag
is thrown. It might be against Valpo.
Is that an... Oh,
yeah, I
no.
think
Might have been a
that's
pass
going to be.
interference.
I think it's going to be pass interference.
That
on
pass
Valpo.
interference
Did
would
look
be
like
against
he,
T.J. Watkins, the defensive back.
Because I think when he went up for the ball, I think he hit him too early.
Maybe, yeah. Looked like it just a little bit. And again, that was pass interference on T.J. Watkins. But like I was saying earlier, I think I reverse jinxed, I guess, the LaPorte defense. Because right after I mentioned how they wanted to turn it around, they got an incredible stop and picked up a fumble.
They really did. And props to that defense for sticking no matter what. Even the situation being down by 32 doesn't change a thing. The hustle is still there. Props to LaPorte defense.
And even though you guys can't hear it, I sure can. And the Valpo
Gets a
crowd
couple of yards there.
It's going crazy.
You know, it's a 35-3 ball game, and let me tell you, they're going so crazy that the floor of this press box is vibrating from them bouncing on the
I did
bleachers.
notice that a lot during this game.
They're
So-
not losing spirit even late into the game. And that is the end of the third quarter. You can look forward to Sweet Caroline, presented by Valparaiso High School.
That's into quarter number 3. The score, Valparaiso 35, LaPorte 3.
Welcome back. And what has been a very interesting
Bullet
game
pass.
here for Valpo. These LaPorte slicers have been sliced, diced, whatever you want to call it.
Now, I'm not sure what the stream showed you, but I can tell you what we saw. And every bump, 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 that crowd was bump, bump, bump in the
And
stands.
once again, this press box was vibrating, as Jennings pointed out here earlier.
Again, like our special guest was saying, the Valpo crowd and the fans and the spirit is just, it's so strong here.
Feels like I'm at home. So here is Anglin.
What
He's
a
had a
blitz
pretty
by
rough
34.
game here. Pass is
And it's
caught
caught.
to 23.
Wow. What a throw. That's right at the line of
Kai
scrimmage.
Jones, the running back.
Now, that was a rough tackle.
Score updates presented by yours truly. Crown Point has taken the lead over Maribel 35-34 in the third quarter.
And that was Sammy Ampliotis, our Sam's player of the half.
He just picked him because of the name. You didn't notice Sam pick Sam?
You know what? I didn't notice.
Thanks for pointing that out. So here is
Guess I shouldn't be a detective. That's
a bad snap.
No.
Going backwards and still on his
wow.
feet.
He
And now is down.
He broke that tackle.
So a situation turned into an even worse situation. And Vikings have amazing field position in a game that's pretty much already determined.
That was Tanner Young with the tackle.
What an inspirational play there from that Viking special teams.
Now, recently it's been hard to pick a defensive leader for the Valpo Vikings because
There's a lot. I could say this game, there's a good amount here.
definitely their entire roster, every time I've looked at the stats, their entire roster has 3, 4, 5 tackles. Their entire defensive half of the roster.
And they've been really killing it here tonight.
They've definitely proven their prowess.
So here is run
That's
to
Justin Clark.
and he spins out of that one. But the flag is thrown
Flag
as he
on
goes
the
for the
play.
touchdown, but flag.
Holding. That looks like it's going to be holding.
And we'll see who it's against. The holding
This
is the
really
call,
depends.
I
but
think that's going to be holding in the secondary on the on the Vikings.
Definitely seems likely
Man,
as they're
that's so
all
unfortunate.
walking back.
That was such a
But
good run by
what
Justin
a,
Clark.
I was going to say, what a really...
No, it's going to be illegal use of the hands, blocking the back by the Vikings. Same difference.
But even then, what a really good play from Justin Clark. That would have been his second rushing touchdown of the night.
See how wide that hole was on the
yeah.
right side?
It really was. He was gone.
I think at this point in the game, it's fourth quarter. They're down 33 points. I think they're just wanting to go home.
He broke that first tackle, and it was like, holy cow,
And
where'd
he was
everybody go?
off. He was off. He pulled the Lamar there against the Bengals a couple years ago.
I mean, this whole game, he's been referenced as Lamar Jackson, and he's definitely lived up to it.
He really has been.
Another run by Justin Clark,
It's
and
a
lateral off to
tip-off
4.
to-
Lateral off to Thomas Berta.
It was a toss-off. Excuse my English there. So that was from Gavin
Option, sorry.
Garrett. So the tackle.
To Thomas Berta.
I bet you Clark was. Come on! I bet you that wasn't a call.
Clark must be
Like I've been doing
disappointed.
this all night here. Gonna
He must
call
be
me not to
disappointed.
let me score 40 points? 40 plus?
Another run.
So
Oh
run here
my.
from Clark in
Man,
the red
he-
zone.
every time he finds that hole in the middle of the defense,
Up
and he
the
takes
up the middle.
it right up the middle again.
Dare I call him Lamar myself?
He has gashed the middle of this LaPorte defense so heavy this game. And it's literally right up the gut.
Yep.
Every time it seems like.
Now watch. He does this. Now he's going to do the option to where it's going to go to the outside. And then he's going to come back and do it again.
Because you know the defense is playing on that middle. Tripped up, but he still gains really heavy yardage. That's almost another first down for the
And
Valparaiso
inside
Vikings.
the 10-yard line.
Kyle Friel, I believe he said.
See, now, if I'm calling this play, I go option right up to the top. But we're going up the middle.
And this pass is
Oh, it's an
caught.
option pass.
38.
To Machichi.
Rocco
Machichi.
Machichi.
Oh, he tried.
Machichi
He
is-
almost had that.
He broke one tackle, but come just short of the touchdown.
Yep. And I'm sure he's like, he's going to want that pass here.
Well,
He thinks he deserved it.
and you got to hand it to Machichi. I mean, he's played a really good game with the, with the pressure of being the PC3 player to watch. Knowing that he was the player to watch. He's been playing with a lot of pressure on him.
And that is good enough for a first goal there from Machichi. And fun fact, up until this game, he was the leading receiver for the past 2 games there. Here's a run by Berta for the touchdown.
And that's another
Valparaiso touchdown! I like what we did there.
Yeah.
Berta.
And he's lifting him up. Like we said, that was 54. Same player we saw earlier trying to lift up a tackled person.
And the time will continue to tick down because the slaughter rule is now applied.
You know, the slaughter rule is
I
always
think it's been applied here. I think since the second quarter.
second quarter. Wow.
I think. Or it could have been. If it really wanted to be. So here is Cop. There we go. I finally got it right.
Again. The field goal. He is
Perfect.
he is perfect, I believe.
Cop. It was a bad snap, but however.
And that's another.
good.
It's good. And it was caught by a random fan.
Let me interject here a little bit. I just got shown the chat because this is the first game that we've actually opened up the chat. If you gentlemen get a chance to see the chat after the game, go take a look at it. It means a lot to both Matt McClendon and I to see these comments coming in. When we took over this program just a few weeks ago, it was a little interesting to see where this was going to go. And let me tell you, to see these comments coming in already that are coming in, we very much appreciate it, and we very much look forward to a lot of the further surprises that we can bring down the line. And when I started working with the announcers, I really, really didn't think, nothing against you two, because I didn't know anybody, but I really wasn't sure the type of talent that we were going to have, for these games, because it takes a lot. Just like Robbie Hummel talked about, it takes a lot. It takes a different type of person. And you guys have done an incredible job over these last couple games. Our friend Sam B over there commented, we got a little wave there. He commented that the gentlemen have done such an incredible job, and he said that they, as I was talking to him earlier, that they did such an incredible job with the Robbie Hummel interview and calling the game, that they were, so as we see these strides made every game, it really, it's really neat to watch from my point of view, and I want to thank everybody for noticing the strides that these gentlemen have made. And like I said, I keep saying it, but we've got a whole lot of surprises coming up.
We appreciate the feedback from everyone here, and we want to thank Sam B from the Times for those very helpful stats.
Sam's getting a lot of shout-outs, and I was just about to say, I can tell you, as the student-led PC3 media team, we appreciate the comments just as much as the teachers. They have been very helpful. Mr. McClendon and Rich Jennings, of course, and it's been an awesome opportunity to commentate for these guys. And I will definitely be taking a look at the comments and rewatching this to see what I can improve for you guys next game. There is 23 with the run. That would be...
And breaks out of that tackle
Ty
here.
Jones.
Tries to get out of another one, but is stuffed.
And
It's Ty Jones.
That defense is just... It
Defense is
collapses
there.
on them.
I forgot. I completely forgot. They showed me the comments, and I completely forgot about what I was going to say. Is please comment below and comment on the Facebook page, YouTube, wherever you're watching, and let us know what else you'd like to see from PC3. We are always open to a whole lot of different things.
Absolutely, and I can tell you from experience being in the class that everyone in there is bright-minded, and we are coming up with incredible ideas every week.
We really are. And
Number 12, splitting the defense. Or not 12, I believe
carries
that's
that
21.
for a first down.
And I will tell you, it doesn't have to be completely serious if you've ever
That's
watched
true.
any bit of the Friday show.
We like to have a lot of fun.
We really do. And you know what? With more very funny skits coming up, and we're so excited to be showing it out to the public.
Well, next week we've got, I was showing the early clips of our drip check for next week.
Drip check.
Yes.
That's new.
Where they go around and rate people's outfits for the day. So that was quite comical to me. Because if you're anywhere near my age, you had no idea what she was talking about initially.
Well, it's definitely different, and I got a couple laughs from here and there. So,
And I can tell you, as someone in Porter County Career and Technical Center program, we get everyone involved in the school. We
really
get them
do.
involved for interviews,
Oh, yeah.
for just to have fun. We make sure that everyone, we keep everyone on their toes.
I mean, yeah, you saw that, and then you've seen other skits with other people that are in PCC, including the skit This or That. The second installment of that will be coming in episode 5. Shout out to This
To
or
the
That
AM
creators.
class.
Yes, AM class.
That was number 12, Trey Baketel. And he was, I was right the first time. He had the carry just before that, and he's definitely shifty. I'm surprised he doesn't get more minutes. That's another run for him, splitting the defense.
And breaks
And
through
he gets held.
for the first down. And he's
Sorry,
going
that's not
mid-center
holding,
field.
but he does get held.
And you know what? Going back to what he said about working here and how it's been an honor, it really has been an honor working with you, Jaden. And I never thought we'd get this close, but here we are, and it's been a real pleasure working with you.
It really has. With
Like-
5 minutes left,
And I couldn't ask for a better coworker.
with 5 minutes left in a blowout win, the fans have not lost a single bit.
Seems
of
like they're still in the
enthusiasm.
game here, and
Short
it's been
past
far
8.
over. So here's he's slammed down.
I was, I believe, 7 with the tackle.
Dylan Tersman, the defensive back, got smothered to the ground.
Now we see them all lining up, and again, no one has lost a single pep in their step except maybe the LaPorte defense, and that's another flag.
Flag is thrown.
Speaking of flags, I gotta say it. Check out Law. They can help you with any penalties that you receive.
What a game it's been for Valpo. What a game indeed. And you know what? A lot of vibes from the last game against Hammond Central.
Is that
as
a
shown
turnover
here.
on downs?
Is it? Can't
No,
be
I
if
don't
it,
think
it can't
so.
be if it's
That's
second
second
down.
and 14.
Right.
I'm sorry, I was.
There probably
little
was a
lost.
call. It was probably a call against LaPorte. You probably just missed it there. But regardless, it is
Yes, unfortunately. we
a
didn't.
second down with about 3.5 to go here.
Hand off to. Ooh, and he splits the
And
defense.
gets out
and
of
he's
there.
off.
Let's have another one.
Breaks a
and
couple tackles.
Gets a good amount of yards.
And that was, again, Trey Bagel. He's been showing that he wants a bigger position on this team. And I think,
It
honestly,
definitely
he's earned
seems
it.
like it.
He has probably 40 yards, I'd say. Not that I'm a football specialist,
You know, I mean,
but I could say he probably has around 40 yards just in the fourth quarter. I'm sure he's glad to get a chance. And he's doing this on Valpo defense. We know how hard that's been.
already
for
not
the
easy
rest
for
of
him
the team.
enough. So here is.
Catch by 16. Breaks
He
a
is
tackle,
off, and
keeps
there
running.
he goes.
7. Number 7, Dylan Tersman, who we just saw get another tackle. However,
That
that's
was
still
from
a first
Deegan
down.
Mason, the tight end.
However, that's still a first down for the Slicers, and you have to imagine with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left on the clock, they want to get some more points up on the board, make this look like less of a blowout.
Yeah,
and I don't blame
but even
them.
though it wouldn't make much of a difference, it definitely would not look as bad. So here's the pressure again.
Looks,
The
I knew that pass
and
was
that
coming to 81.
is nearly caught, but
Really?
slipped out of his fingers there.
He also had 2 defenders on him, but
Yes. And so the time will continue to tick down here. And what a performance by these Vikings. If you were to take the last score and this score, they've scored 94 points in the last 2 games. And technically 100 points in 3 games. They've averaged 33.3 points per game.
and you know that's incredible to see. Just to see their offense really come together after their really tough loss.
Against Penn. And speaking of Penn,
And he just trips up. It happens.
definitely does.
Catches it and loses his balance. Now in about 2 minutes, our post-game show is going to happen, and that will be brought to you by Blythe's Sporting Goods.
Stick up for stick here for the, like he said, post-game show with highlights and stats and more around.
Well, I can't
Northwest
promise.
Indiana.
I can't promise any highlights, but I can definitely.
Well, not
tell you-
highlights, but I can definitely promise you there will be some more scores around the league. Speaking of that, Penn, the first team to go up against Valpo and give him the loss, lost today against Cathedral, 35-21.
Ah,
Now they have that losing feeling here as the pass is
I believe that's
called.
interception.
It's intercepted! Third interception of the night!
I believe that was Tyler Verschure. Nope, that is not Tyler Verschure. That's number 15.
Wow. Oh my
Tyrus
goodness.
Morris.
Aglin's third interception. And he's thrown 4 interceptions in the last 2 games.
Now you got to think at some point they probably wanted to sub him out, but I don't know if they have
And that
another
will
quarterback.
end the night for the Vikings. Kiss them goodnight. And send them back to LaPorte.
No, I think at this point, actually, I don't think they can. Yeah, they can't run it out.
They won't. Well, they can, but LaPorte.
Well, they can run it out.
LaPorte is going to go 0-3 and still be winless. And in a very tough Duneland conference, that is not something you want to do. The Valpo Vikings will go up 2-1. And we'll see the other scores here in a little bit. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, and that wraps up a game. 42-3. Vikings move up to 2-1.
Now, in a few minutes in the post game, now that this game is finally over, you're going to see us talk to the Vikings coach. Maggie is, we'll be talking to the Vikings coach, I believe, unless I've misunderstood. As you can see, they're all shaking hands again, like we talked about at the beginning. Mutual respect.
And that's definitely what
For the
you
game of
want in a
football.
game for sure. No matter the outcome, no matter what, it's still all sports. They're all still a family, so you definitely need to show some respect.
Now, we
That
did
is
have a
props to all
basketball
teams.
player in here not too long ago, Robbie Hummel.
If
in
you
case
missed
any
out,
of you missed it.
It was
And-
definitely a different, surreal feeling.
Anyways, it has definitely been a pleasure to commentate this game, and I'm so excited. However, we won't be streaming next week, but you can definitely catch our Friday show next week.
The AM Class Edition.
Yes, every week it switches from the AM to the PM class, and I can tell you, I'm in the AM class, and I can tell you we're very excited for you to see what we've been working on.
Yes. LaPorte's next opponent is Chesterton in LaPorte. So they'll be going up against Chesterton. Meanwhile, for Valpo, they'll be going up against Michigan City.
As you
at
can
Michigan
see,
City.
in the middle of the field, someone's doing the worm.
Look at that.
That would be number 10. That would be Jonah Kyle. who we
Jonah
talked about a
Kyle,
lot.
what a game. And you know what? He had a good amount of plays here as well. There go that man.
All right. Well, we're going to be...
All right.
Okay.
They're going to cut to you, so you'll point, then you'll start. Point to the camera? Point to the camera, then you'll start. Now.
Game interview. So we had a great performance tonight. What are some things the guys excelled at, and what are some things they can improve upon?
You know, I think we're just still really young, and so we had a lot of mental mistakes that were out there. But I can't be any prouder of how they responded. You know, coming off of a tough week one, and then, you know, progressively just getting better week in and week out.
We caused multiple turnovers tonight. How did those change the momentum of the game, and how do you build as a team off of them?
Yeah, you know, the turnovers, that's the name of the game for us. It's something we've prided ourselves on for the last 5 years, is being able to get the ball back to our offense, sustain long drives, and then hopefully go ahead and get another turnover as well.
We had our Hall of Fame inductees announced tonight. What's the experience like for the coaching staff getting to see all those Valpo legends get inducted?
That is a great question. So we have guys on staff that either were in school with some of our Hall of Famers, were coached by some of our Hall of Famers. So being able to see them, rightfully so, inducted into our Valpo High School Hall of Fame is a great thing. And being able to have a staff that has been with those people throughout their years here is even better.
You're coming off 2 impressive wins. How does the momentum carry off into practice and preparing for their next week's game?
Well, it only gets tougher from here. We have Michigan City. After that, we have Chesterton. So we're playing really the meat of the Duneland Athletic Conference coming up. So we have to keep upping our game.
Thank you so much for your
Thanks
time.
so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank
Coach.
you.
Back to you in the booth.
Absolutely.
Back to you in the booth.
Point, point.
Vikings football is definitely one to keep an eye on, as after their unfortunate loss in the first week, they came back.
They've really have been bouncing it back here in the last 2 weeks, adding 94 points in each of their games and only allowing a total of 3 from the opponent.
In 2 games, you're right, they had 94 points and only allowed 3.
So that will wrap up things here in Valparaiso, Indiana. You've been watching this presentation of PC3 football. I'm Ethan Locke.
And I'm Jaden Woods. We hope you drive safe. Don't get lost in the stars.